Anyone else like to share? How about you in the back with the glasses, sir?
My name's Bobby, and I am an addict.
Hey, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
You know, you folks aren't here because you're gamblers. You are here because you are terrible gamblers.
Hey, Bobby.
These folks don't need to stop doing what they're doing. They just need to get better at it. Who's stealing?
Please.
Who's that?
All right, let's roll. The Friday Night Freak Show has begun as the National Football League preseason continues. The Buffalo Bills have just taken a 19-17 lead, although they missed the extra point. It could be a 20-17 right now. There's about 9 minutes left in that football game. We appreciate you joining us here this evening. We'll be with you for, I don't know, about 120 minutes plus or so. It won't be a marathon Friday Night Freak Show like in past Friday Night Freak Shows. Obviously, it hasn't been the best week. And secondly, I'm on the clock right now. I don't have a lot of motherfucking time, as we've got a lot of shows, a lot of trips, and a lot of stuff that's going to happen in the next week or so. And speaking of which, next Friday night at this time, we'll be doing this show from Las Vegas. And in fact, this is the last Friday Night Freak Show on this set. We're done here for this Friday night. Only a couple of more shows left here. And then there's a new chapter begins. So I will tell you right now, there'll be no shows next Wednesday here. And in fact, we won't be on the radio on Wednesday either. Wednesday will be a travel day. And, IFBC is so big, everybody's traveling. You know, like the final episode of Seinfeld? It's a good episode. People were like, they could have ended it better. I don't know. I remember when I watched Breaking Bad, and I watched the last Breaking Bad, the last one. And after, I was like, man, after all that, that's it? Fuck. I was like, really? That's the way you ended it? You know, it was just sort of... And then I watched it again, like fucking 2 weeks later. I was like, man, you're an idiot. Fuck. They really did a good job ending it, actually. It was, what do you want them to do? But it's the same thing. It's the same thing for IFBC. We're not sending any links out tonight, Ro, as much as we love you, buddy. We're not in a link sending mood here this evening. But it's the episode of Seinfeld when they're going to court and everybody's so happy. And they show like pretty much every motherfucking character from the show with their suitcase and their bag, and they're all going to the airport, and they're going from like all over the world. That's what like the IFBC is going to be like. Like the Costa Rican crew. And it's interesting. I've never met the Costa Rican SBR crew on American soil. I've only seen them in like their neck of the woods where like I'm the idiot and I don't know anything. I'm on the side of a fucking hill in some chicken restaurant in fucking Costa Rica. But they're very, very nice people. Sophia is extremely nice. Deb Stern's great. Ariana. Zach Jones. You guys will see next week. So like next Wednesday, and the fantasy sports network guys are going to be down there too. Excuse me. The fantasy sports network guys, like Cam Stewart's coming. Mike Cardano, Lou Mayone, the owner of Daily Roto. So it's like Cam's girlfriend. It's a shit show. Cam Stewart, his girlfriend, me, Taylor Stevens, and Sonny Vega are all on the same plane going to Vegas on Wednesday. Now, just for the record, actually, we got some late baseball here, even though I'm really in football mode. But for the degenerate gamblers out here amongst us, and you're all degenerate gamblers if you're here, let's go with all the favorites. Houston Astros, Arizona Diamondbacks, Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm going to parlay the D-backs and the Dodgers. You know, my money is basically tied up right now. I got paid, actually, for the Kansas City win. See, I just parlayed the D-backs and the Dodgers. Out of all these games, I don't know. I don't really love any of them, to be honest with you. If I had to pick one, I'd say the D-backs should win. I think Robbie Ray's going to have a nice night. Houston should win, but I don't know, man. Oakland are hot. Edwin Jackson's on the hill, though. I kind of get the feeling Houston wants to send a message. And then you got the Dodgers with Bueller and LeBlanc. Could go either way. I kind of lean with the Dodgers. I don't love these games, but I just want to throw it out there for the degenerate gamblers. We hit on the Kansas City Chiefs. We hit the Chiefs. What else is going on? What else do we have here? We've got a few NFL games. I'm going to lose the Detroit Lion game. Fucking Matt Patricia. I don't know, man. Show me a Patriot assistant coach that's been a good head coach. I'm on the Carolina Panthers on the money line. They're winning by 8 right now with 8 minutes left. It's 20-12. I was on Kansas City. That's a winner. I'm on the over in this Buffalo Bill game. Over 42.5. That fucking extra point didn't really help us, but whatever. It's basically we need a touchdown in 8 minutes here in this Bills game. Will it happen? I'm not so sure. We're on Carolina. That's looking good. And we've got the over in the Arizona-New Orleans game, which is not looking good. 17-3, and we'll go through the NFL, and we'll recap what went down this evening. So what can we learn to take forward? Yeah, so you know what? I think that I think Babano might be on our flight too. I'm not positive. And it's crazy because none of us coordinated this at all. Like me and Cam didn't coordinate it. Cam's bringing his girlfriend with him, or she's bringing him. That's going to be an adventure. And the funny thing is, I don't want to drink, on the plane. Like my whole, that's one of my goals is to not drink at the airport and not drink on the plane. And now it's everyone's on the same fucking plane. You know it's going to happen. Oh, let's just get a drink. But I am not getting a drink on the plane. I'm a Vegas veteran, and I'm aware that every trip I've ever taken to Vegas, and I've even lived there, and it includes me living there and shit. Anytime, if you show up drunk, it's a bad start, man. Look, at March Madness I got fucking smashed, fuck. It started out I wasn't going to drink, and it was the same shit. Taylor Stevens, Sonny Vega were on the plane, and it's not their fault. It was me and Cam. Fucking Cam. Me and Cam were sitting there, and I said, no, I'm not drinking. I was reading a basketball magazine, or I was reading a fucking basketball spreadsheet the night before March Madness. I told him, I'm not drinking. I was in the airport. I said, I'm not drinking anything because me and Cam always get wasted in airports. I told him, I'm not drinking in the airport, dude. And he goes, well, let's just get something to eat at this place. I was like, all right, but I'm not drinking. I said, I'm going over all the basketball games, and I'm just going to get some weed when I get to Vegas. Fuck. No. And then, of course, it started. Fuck. Next thing you know, we're fucking drunk before we get on the plane. Get on the plane. I'm fucking wasted on the plane. I get into it with some mother getting off the plane and shit. She doesn't like me dropping F-bombs. I got into it with her. And then I told that lady off pretty good too. And then I got my karma. The lady fucking beat me because I got into it with this woman when I was getting off the plane. I forgot my laptop, fuck, because I was an idiot. That was it. I had all the games on my laptop, and I was fucking I left the laptop in like the sleeve on the plane. And I didn't realize that until fucking, like, I got to the hotel later that night. I didn't even know. I was like, I lost the laptop somewhere. I was like, fuck, I think I left it on the plane. And I was so fucked up, I left my passport at a weed dispensary place. So I was all wasted. I fucking get to the weed fucking place. I get the weed. And it was when I tried to check into the hotel. Like, I did all this before I even got to the hotel. Then later, I'm trying to check into the hotel. I'm like, they're like, do you have ID? I'm like, yeah, somewhere. I'm like, I'm all drunk, circus. I'm like, fuck, no. I'm like, I don't have any ID. And then I realized, I'm like, fuck, I don't have a computer. And there I am, fuck. It's fucking 1 a.m. in Vegas. I've been in Las Vegas for like 90 minutes, and I'm down a computer and I'm down a passport. Not a great start. The fucking shit show. And of course, I hit the tables after. Like, me and Cam went to the tables. He's like, wow, you know, let's just go to, you know. It's like, yeah, all right, let's go to the tables. The thing is, the thing is, I was fucking blessed. I was lucky. I got the computer back the next day by just showing up at the airport. And I got my passport back by going back to the weed dispensary. So it was a win-win. Holy fuck. Fucking Bills, man. Just missed a field goal. Seriously? Fucking missed extra points, missed fucking field goals. The game's going to stay under now because of this bullshit. There should be another 4 points. Fuck. We should be at 40 fucking points right now. This is bullshit. All we need is another field goal. Fuck. And if the Bills just would have gotten that field goal, Cleveland would have needed a touchdown. Now they only need a field goal. Yeah, what's up, son? Yeah, I told her this isn't Disney fucking land. Well, this chick, she brought her kids, and her kids were wearing fucking headphones, all right? But her kids were like 2-3 fucking aisles up. She wasn't sitting with her kids. Like, her kids were like 2-3 aisles up with the father, and this woman was like right beside me across the aisle type thing. Like, beside me, I was on the aisle and she was on the aisle, so we were kind of close to each other. But she was wearing headphones. And people like recognized me on the plane and shit. So people started talking to me, and it was like about the Raptors. You know, what about the Raptors, Morency? And people saw Cam there, and they were like, holy shit, it's Cam Stewart and Morency sitting together on a plane and going to Vegas. So like half the plane knew who we fucking were. And then next thing you knew, like basically it turned into like an old school party plane. Like they were loose about it. And everyone was fucking getting wasted and drinking and standing up and like, you know what I mean? Like crowding around and shit. And this fucking lady was kind of in the middle of it. And when we landed, she looked over and she said, thank God, fuck, we're here. She said, you know, your language has been horrible. She goes, I'm here with my daughters or whatever. I said, first off, fuck, this isn't Disney World. I said, secondly, you're on a fucking late night flight to Vegas, fuck, on the night of March Madness. I said, you know, really? I said, and then I got into, I started raising it up a notch. I told her, I said, who brings their kids to Vegas, fuck, on this fucking flight anyways? And then I said to her, I said, and anyways, I said, I didn't say anything your kids have never heard before. And thirdly, I said, your kids have been wearing fucking headphones, all right? They didn't even hear what I said. They did. They were watching movies, fuck. They didn't look at me once, fuck. And she said something back to me. I don't know, man. She called me an asshole. She said something. And I didn't know what to say. I choked. I choked. I didn't know what to say. Like, I didn't want to tell her off. I was trying to be polite because, you know, it's on a plane and shit. So, like, you know, I didn't say, like, fuck you. I didn't say that or anything. But so we were going back and forth. But she sort of one-upped me because I was wasted, right? And she said, you know, I had to sit next to you and whatever. And I told her, I said, I had to sit next to your ugly pants. She said, what? Like it almost didn't comprehend. I said, I had to sit next to these ugly pants. I said, they blinded me the whole trip. I said, look how bright they are. She said, did you just say something about my pants? I said, yeah, I don't like them. Fuck him. Yeah, it was fucking. And then Taylor Stevens, like, grabbed me after. She's like, did you just say something about her pants to her? Did you just say that you didn't like her pants? Yeah, it's pretty much the dumbest comeback you could ever come up with. She's calling me obnoxious. She's calling me an asshole and shit. She's right. I'm in the wrong. You know, I was right about, like, Vegas. It's like, come on, fuck. You're landing in Vegas at midnight here, baby. Like, really? Like, I get it if it's, like, in the day. Like, every flight's different. You're on the late night party flight to Vegas. It is what it is. And it wasn't that bad, fuck. You know, I swore a couple of times. It wasn't that bad. But, yeah, so that's all I had, fuck. It was a real George Costanza. Like, well, yeah, and I sort of choked. Like, I dug down deep and there was nothing there. And the thing is, too, then her husband fucking, like, was sort of starting to give me the real look, like he was getting angry for real. I was like, all right, I better chill out, fuck. I've already had issues on fucking WestJet before, too. You guys remember I got fucking, I fucking violated Federation fucking aviation law going to Las Vegas once while I got drunk at the airport, of course. So I opened up a bottle of vodka on the fucking plane, which in the old days wouldn't be that big of a deal, but nowadays they freak. Fuck. So I didn't cause any problems or anything. I didn't cause any problems on the plane, though. Like, the plane was pretty empty. It was kind of weird. Like, I'd never seen such an empty flight to Vegas. It was fucking bizarre. There was like 15 people on it. So I was sort of sitting by myself, really, like, totally by myself. There was no one around to talk to even. So, but the thing is, they knew because I was an idiot. Fuck. I asked her for orange juice. And I'm like, oh, that'll be smart. So I asked her for orange juice, and I'm pouring vodka in it myself. It's like, yeah, like, she's not going to smell it. And I'm calling her over. I'm like, yeah, can I get more orange juice? And I fucking spilled some vodka and shit. Fucking, you know, so I smell like, I reek like vodka. The thing is, I drank like the full fucking bottle. I didn't realize it. So I drank like a fucking 40 of vodka on a plane. Fucking, I was fucking shit-faced after. Like, I'm going to admit it. I was really drunk. Fuck. So, like, I barely remember. Fuck. So I remember getting up after, and there was like this fucking like hooker that gave me a dirty look. Fucking, there was this chick. And I was like, don't say anything to her. I was about to fucking tell her, shut up, fucking just go hook, all right? Like, fucking, I was about to say something and I didn't. I was like, good for you, good for you. You kept your mouth shut. And I was getting, as I was about to get off the plane, they stopped me and shit. The fucking flight attendant stopped me. And she said, excuse me, sir, but she said, I had to report you. We called ahead to report you. I just thought I'd let you know. It's like, yeah, what? You let me know you're a snitch, fuck? She goes, oh, we called ahead to let you know. You just violated Federation aviation law, basically. She's like, the authorities are waiting for you. And it was like right out of like a fucking, like a movie type shit. Like, you see, like, you know what I mean? Like, basically, there was like 7 cops fucking waiting for me, like, at the fucking, like, I couldn't get off, you know what I mean? I was detained, fuck, on the plane. But, you know, I didn't do it maliciously. And I explained my side of the story in which, look, I bought a bottle of vodka in the airport at duty free. I said, normally in the old days, they take it from you and they give it to you when you get off the plane, right? I said, nobody took it from me. So I didn't know. I said, you know what I mean? But, you know, but the thing is, I'm not going to lie. I heard them say, like, when like she gives you the instructions, the exit, she says don't smoke and you can't drink. Like it's whatever. I heard her, but I was like, yeah, I'll just pretend I didn't hear that. So like they let me bring it on the plane. So that's what I told the cops after. I said I didn't sneak this on or anything. I said I bought it in the airport and walked on with it. You know, I said the plane was empty. I asked them for orange juice. I said, listen, I just finished 8th in the super contest. I was excited to come here. And I said, I'm very sorry, you know. And they let me go, fuck. They let me go. So then after, though, it was the best, too. So, like, the chick told me, she goes, look, she goes, I'm going to let go of the fucking aviation law shit. She goes, you'd be on the no-fly list, but she goes, we're going to let that go. And there was a chick cop, the head one, and like the airport. And she goes, the only reason we're not is because you didn't do anything on the plane. You didn't disturb anybody. I was like, no, ma'am, I didn't disturb anybody. And she goes, I could like arrest you for public drunkenness right now. But then she was cool. She goes, but this is Las Vegas. I was like, yeah. And so it was funny. She told me, she goes, listen. And I told her, I live here before. No, and I know the city, don't worry. Because she's like, where are you going tonight? Like, she was kind of concerned. I was like, no. And she warned me. She goes, listen. She goes, I want you to get into a taxi, go to your hotel. She goes, don't go out tonight. Like, I got like 7 LVPD around me, like lecturing me like parents. They're like, she's like, I don't want you going out tonight. She goes, just go to your room. And she goes, have a good time in the weekend. But she goes, just go to your room. And then she warns me. She goes, I swear, if I fucking hear anything about you or if I run into you tonight, you're going down. I'm like, no, ma'am, I'm fine. About 20 minutes later, man, I'm getting into a fight at the hotel, fuck. And I'm getting booted out by security. And like, I wouldn't leave. Like, I'm like, fuck you. I already paid. You can't kick me out. And they're like, oh, yes, we can. So I'm going back and forth with them. And T-Bone was there. My buddy T-Bone showed up. And T-Bone's like, bro, you got to get out of here, man. You're really like, fuck, they're getting pissed. So this is at the hotel. I'm going back and forth. Finally, the guy's like, all right, that's it, fuck. I'm going to call the cops, fuck. And it takes a lot for them to do that in Vegas at a hotel. So finally, the guy's like, all right, listen, buddy, if you don't leave, we're calling the cops. And as soon as he said the cops, I was like, no, I'm good. I realized, fuck it. I was like, oh, shit, fuck, man. They're going to fucking come. And so I was like, I got to fucking get the fuck out of here. And that's how I ended up. That's how I ended up at Hooters, fuck. That's how I ended up at Hooters. Yeah, the Las Vegas Tourism Board. So yeah, this is why the only reason I'm telling this story. Well, it's not good to drink going to Vegas, and then secondly is so after I got a fucking call and shit. I got a phone call. And I got an email. And man, it was like some fucking like, this is Sergeant Lebowski. And he's like, this is WestJet Security. We need to talk. And I was like, holy fuck. Fucking. And remember I told the story on the air. I was like, I'm not calling this guy back. Fuck. Then the guy started like really fucking calling, man. And fucking, they sent me an email. And he basically stated that you need to call us back. Fucking. And I was thinking, well, what are you going to do? Fuck. Like, I already, you know what I mean? They already let me go. Like, you can't do anything about it now. I'm fucking, I'm not in the airport. Then I realized, though, I was like, man, these motherfuckers could put you on a no-fly list. They could put out. Then I realized, I was like, man, I'm going to be on this list or something as a fucking bad, like, flyer. So, yeah, it was you, Lebowski, exactly. So I had to call back. I had to call the security guy. I got like this fucking head of security agent. He's like, yes, because I understand there was an incident the other night on a plane. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I explained once again, I said, listen, I said, I already spoke to the LVPD about this. And I said, you know, I didn't get charged with anything. I said, it was an accident. I was an innocent mistake. I said, in the old days, they used to take the duty free from you. I said, I didn't know. Yeah, I'm sorry. And he goes, no, you know, I reviewed your case. And the thing is, I've flown with WestJet like fucking 150 times type shit. And he goes, I looked at your file. He goes, you know, you're flown with us fucking 100, you know. He goes, you're a regular. I used to fly with him all the time. And he goes, you never had an incident. You're all right. And I said, what would have happened if I didn't call you back? Oh, the guy knew who I was too, fuck. He said, he goes, I watched you and Cam on the score. So he knew I was too. And I asked him, I said, what would have happened if I didn't call you back? And he goes, you would have been on a no-fly list. He goes, only for Canadian Airlines. He goes, you would have been on a WestJet and an all Canadian Airlines bad passenger list. So the best is, I don't know if you heard the radio show with Cam in the story. So we're sitting here the other day after the show, and we're talking about Vegas, and Cam gets an email on his phone, and he's like, oh, shit. He looks, and he's like, what the fuck? And he gets all scared. It's like Air Canada, and it says urgent. It says urgent. Mr. Cam Stewart, you will not be able to travel unless you contact us immediately. And it's basically, it didn't even say that. It's like, you must contact us. And it wasn't spam. It was real. So we asked Cam. I said, well, what was up with that? And today he told the story. So only fucking Cam. Cam's coming to Vegas next week. And he's staying in Vegas for like an extra 3 days or something. Like Cam's staying in Vegas for 7 days, I believe. Like Wednesday to Wednesday. Like I'm leaving Monday morning. So Cam's staying Wednesday to Wednesday. And Cam's passport expires when he is there. Isn't that fucked up? And they caught it. They knew. It goes to show how much they scour this shit. They know who you are before you show up in an airport, right? Once you buy a plane ticket, they're already doing a check. So his passport was good. His passport like expired while he's in Vegas. And it was flagged. And they basically said, listen, your passport is good to get on a plane, but you won't have a passport to get home after. So we can't let you get on this fucking plane to go there if you don't have a passport to come back. So Cam had to go get a new passport today. It's funny, too, because I got panicked about that in an airport the other day. My passport's too beat up to read on the kiosk. My passport's too beat up to read on the kiosk. So I was like, man, and I looked, I was like, fuck, when does this thing expire anyways? Fuck. I'm good till 2020. I think he did get the 10-year passport this time. Yeah, that was another time in Vegas where he was going to get held back. They wouldn't let him on the plane because there was a dude named Cam Stewart who was wanted. Fuck. They sorted it out pretty fast, though. Yeah, it was like 10 minutes. They came back out. They're like, yeah, you know, you're Canadian. The Cam Stewart that's wanted is from Texas. Fuck. You're good. They wanted just to make sure he was not from Texas. Like Drew said, though, it's true. I imagine there's probably quite a few Cam Stewarts out there. You know what I mean? There's another Gabriel Morency in Montreal. Well, there's a few, I'm sure, but I know there's the goalie, actually. But there's like a dude who does like a lot of crazy shit, fuck. Like I got stopped by the cops, man, and they were like, man, you better hope that you're this Morency and not the other Morency. I was like, no, that's not me. And it sucked because I had to confess to other shit. They're like, do you owe money for putting posters for a poster company? I was like, yeah. And he was like, he goes, well, he goes, you're under arrest, but he goes, at least you're not the other guy. And I said, why? What did he do? And he goes, oh, the other guy. He goes, he's going to jail for a long time. and even he goes, you guys were born in the same year, even. Like the cop was honest with me. He goes, yeah, the guy's born the same year, but you're different months, but you have the same name, same year. So, because it happened to me a couple of times where I got flagged and the cops like took extra double looks at my name and shit. And I was like, what the fuck's going on, man? Like, I got like minor shit. You know what I mean? I used to have a poster company. I used to get tickets for putting posters up all the time and shit, which I, often wouldn't pay, So, but, yeah, I told you. Like, I have a doppelganger who's like a pimp crack dealer here in Toronto, too. Tommy. Even his girlfriend thought I was him once. Like, now, speaking of which, actually, this is a good segue into this. So the Bills win 1917. Scott Ramsey, good to see you, dude. And you got lucky, Scott, all those missed extra field goals and extra points. Good segue into this, actually, because we're talking about IDs, etc. So there's a story on CBS Sportsline today, or excuse me, CBSSports.com. There's a story here, how to fix a college football game in 4 steps. Dennis Dodd. Dennis Dodd's an idiot, fuck, right? A former mob boss explains how to influence college football with relative ease. Like they have this on their front page all day. So basically, like their college football's around the corner and they think it's a good idea to like fearmonger. So like now that gambling is prevalent, games will get fixed and shit. It's like, fuck, you guys are stupid. Less games will get fixed now, fuck. So let me just go through this a bit and it'll sort of correlate what I was going to talk about with passports and IDs and shit. When you used to be able to travel with nothing, right? All right, so Michael Franzese knows a fixed game when he sees one. I recognize it still. Yes, I do. The former New York mobster says, especially garbage points. Remember the next time, and Dennis Dodd says, remember the next time you see a late, seemingly meaningless touchdown or a field goal that winds up covering a point spread or affecting the over-under. Remember, as we enter a new age of legalized sports gambling, that the threat of game fixing is even more realer. Franzese is one of the most few educated voices who can lead us through the wilderness in this. As a powerful mafia boss with the Colombo crime family, he reportedly pulled in as much as $8 million per week. And oh yeah, he fixed games. He's written books, produced movies, and talks candidly about his past. That's why CBS Sports sought out the 67-year-old for our story about the integrity of the game. He wound up describing how easy it is to fix a college football game. All right. He goes, Franzese says, I would say this, it's an extension of the player's competitive spirit. They like to compete, and gambling is a way of competing. Yeah. Okay. So and listen, with all due respect to the mafia boss, and I believe, I'm not questioning that he threw games and shit, but I'm going to tell you why this story is 1,000% wrong and backwards. So with all due respect, Mr. Mafia Don, and I don't want to badmouth this guy, legend and shit. I've heard of the guy. I know the guy and stuff. But the thing is, this is, you know, he's out of his realm here in the modern era. This is the thing. This isn't the 70s, man, and Henry Hill and shit. This isn't MSG in Boston Garden in 1967 or Boston, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But so this is where he's wrong. So he goes, okay, athletes are very competitive. They like to compete, and gambling is a form of competing. Totally true. I agree with that point, he says. The thing is, that doesn't mean they're going to fucking bet on the fucking games that they're playing. And it means they're going to go to the casino after and bet, or they're going to bet on other fucking sports, or they're going to play big fucking high stakes poker games. So yeah, athletes gamble a lot, but it's very rare that athletes gamble on their own sport. And then Francis goes on. He goes, the mentality of kids today, they're more apt to do something like this than in my day. Why, he is asked. They're more willing to take a chance. They're less likely to follow the rules. This is 1,000,000,000% wrong again. Today's kids already know this. Today's kids are fucking warned. Today's kids are fucking aware. If you leave a fucking text message about something, the fucking feds have it if they want, and they're going to investigate. You know, they're not. People would more take a chance in the 50s and 60s and fix shit because there was no wiretaps. Fuck. There was no cameras anywhere. There was no anything. 9/11 changed everything. Like, the world changed on September the 11th. All right. Like, there was no ID before. Yeah, before fucking 9/11, fucking half the Dominican baseball players, fucking, when they came back, they were all 10 years older. All right, when they had to get real ID, fuck. They were told after, you know, the next year, 2002, was the first year that, like, all the Dominican players left because it happened September 11th. So the baseball season was going on. So, but the season came to an end right after September. So all the, you know, most of the Dominican guys, they all went home and shit, and they had a real problem coming back. Like, I'm old enough to remember it in 2002. They had a real problem. It was like, listen, fuck, you know that fucking doctored piece of paper you have that you call a birth certificate? You can't get in anymore with that. Like, they're all paranoid now. And then suddenly it was like, oh shit, Jose Mesa is actually 38. He's not 29 like he said. Adrian Beltre's lied about his age like 5 times, man. He's older, he's younger, he's all over the place. Like, man, I remember when I was in my band, man. I remember in bands and shit. It was crazy. Like, fucking, you'd travel to the, you know, you'd tour and shit. You have a piece of paper, a birth certificate, you know, like just anything. I traveled to the Super Bowl with an Expos press pass. I'm dead serious. I had a Medicare card. I had a health card, a Medicare card. I had like an Expos press pass with my picture on it, and I got on a plane with it. They're like, all right, Mr. Morency. I'm like, thank you. It's like a laminate. I mean, like, it's just completely different. So this guy's saying the kids are more apt to do this shit today. No, they're not. Fuck. These kids are already getting fucking paid fucking money from this fucking the envelopes anyways. They don't need to fucking like throw a fucking game to make $1,000. They're already getting envelopes. So then he gets into the details, and it's a horrible column. He goes, so this is what you do. He goes, you start with an athlete who gets upside down, who loses a lot of money with a bookie. Very few fucking college athletes are losing money with fucking bookies right now. Secondly, he goes, all you have to do is ask them to fucking shave points. They don't need to lose the game. Yeah, thanks. Fuck this. You needed to ask a mob boss for that. He goes, you attempt to get into the referees. All right, the referees I could get. And I've always to me, the player angle is way, way overrated. It's the refs. I've always said this. I remember Dave Morency and I talked about this, and Dave had a good point about this. You know, he said, Gabe, he said, let's go back to like 1955. Like, look, NFL sports, NFL point spreads were really like a early 60s thing, okay? The mob in Vegas, etc. So, and I'm not saying it didn't exist before, but NFL point spreads became prevalent in the early 60s. They existed, college football before, but sports betting as we know it, really. Like, you'll notice, like, trends don't go back that far. It's like the Kentucky Derby. Like, they only keep gambling numbers back to 1930 type shit. Like, there's no point spread trend from 1908. You know what I'm saying? Like, Red Grange and the Chicago Bears and, whatever. There was no point spread. Fuck. Like the win one for the Gipper. Like, there was no point spreads in those days. So as Dave, I'm saying the racing form. Yeah, the racing form goes back to 1930. Like, that's when they started with the Bayer. Like, I mean, that's 1930s, like the modern stats of horse racing type thing. Anyways, my point is Dave Morency brought up. He goes, Gabe, out of all the games that have been played, he goes, there's probably been like 1 million sporting events, right? Think about it. Every NFL game, every college game, every NBA game, every game, whatever. How many gambling scandals have there been? Seriously. Like none, fuck. You know what I mean? You can talk about gambling scandals. Oh, what? The guys at Toledo, Bruce Kurkowski and those guys, whatever, fuck. Those guys were betting like fucking 500 a game and shit. It wasn't, it was stupid. It was just kids betting on football. There's the San Diego Torero kid. He did fucking lose money. It didn't even take much. Like, he was one kid. I'll admit that one. There's a few. Boston College has been caught a couple of times. Boston College, Henry Hill from Goodfellas was on my show before. He talked about fixing Boston College games. Boston College basketball in the 70s at MSG. Right? But so now, though, like, the mobster's way off. Like, in his day, he was right. But now you can't do anything. The fucking schools are monitoring the kids' phones and shit. Everyone knows everything. The fucking feds, when you type something in your computer, they know. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do anything without anyone knowing. Like, these kids, they're not throwing games. So the people that are, and to me, it's the college refs, fuck. Not the NFL refs. The college refs. The college refs don't make a lot of money, So they have power. Like, I don't know if it's an urban legend or not, but there's a story that fucking, that a guy, like, he grew his kid up to be a ref to fucking screw Auburn all the time. Alabama father grew his son up to be a referee to screw fucking Auburn for life. Like an inside spy, you know what I mean? But I'm not, I do believe that there's some scumbag referee out there that, some guy in a Sun Belt on a Saturday night, fucking a Louisiana Tech game, calls a kid out of bounds because he's got the under. I do believe that. Like, I don't think it's rampant. If there's like 800 college football officials, I'll say there's probably like 10 of them that are doing something. Exactly. Like Tout McGee is saying, you can't, that was my whole point about like ID and 9/11 and shit. Like, in the old days, like, you could do crime. You know what I mean? Why could you rob banks before? There was no cameras. You know what I'm saying? There was no anything. Like, like the security apparatus was completely different when I was a kid. Like, there used to be closed circuit camera once in a while, but it's not like now. Man, now, I don't know if you saw, I tweeted out the other day in Los Angeles, the first city to admit they're doing it, but like in the subways in LA, they have a transit system, a light rail train system, etc. When you come in down the elevator, it X-ray scans your body like an airport. It's the first one, supposedly. you know, like the level of surveillance and their knowledge of who everyone is I read something they can basically identify like 98% of the people on the world. From like satellite images, facial recognition. I read a story about this years ago too, and they even admitted it. It was like the FBI guy. And he said, you know, before we used to only have pictures of fucking X amount of people. He goes, now we have everyone's picture. And he goes, it's great. He goes, they give it to us by putting them on fucking Facebook. And now the small schools, it's not happening. See, that's why it doesn't happen, Russell. It doesn't happen at the small schools because that's another thing too. Like, where do these guys bet this? Where do these guys bet this? You know what I mean? Like, let's say a small school. Like, what's a small school? Like, name a school, for example. I'm thinking of a small school. Let's say Kent State. Let's say Kent State. What are you going to do? You're going to go. You think that some bookie's not going to get suspicious if you're like, I want to bet $100,000 on a Kent State game? You don't think Vegas would get like red flagged and go, why the fuck is this motherfucker wanting to bet $100K on this fucking loser game? This loser team. It'll get flagged right away. And it doesn't happen with the big programs because it'll get flagged. And, dude, you don't think Alabama and Michigan and Florida State and these teams, they don't have fucking their own security monitoring what their players are up to and shit online? Come on. Like, look at that. That's how the guys at Arizona State got. That's how the guys at Arizona State got caught. The guys at Arizona State thought they were slick because they went to each casino on the strip. And they tried to bet quite a bit, actually. Like, they tried to bet like $200,000. So, like, somebody got to the Arizona State guys. This is about 15 years ago. Somebody got to the Arizona State guys. There was two guys on Arizona State that were on the take. And so the people that were throwing the games, they were confident enough. They wanted to bet pretty big on it. So they went to Vegas like idiots and whatever, fuck. They went like window to window. So they went to one place and they bet 5,000 on ASU. They went to another place that bet 5,000 on ASU. They went to another place that bet 5,000 on ASU. And then after that, fucking red fucking alarms were going off everywhere. They fucking watched the fucking guys for the rest of the day and they nailed them after. They're like, who are you guys and why are you betting on this on ASU? They basically just fucking, there was like amateur hour and they realized, yeah, you guys, the kids are throwing a game. Right? Like, it's flagged right away. Like, everyone shares everything. It's a casino database, right? And they share this. I'll tell you, like Joey Odessa told me, man, if you guys remember, I'll tell you the one sport that is fixed, all right? And I'm being honest here. And I wouldn't say it, whatever. I don't want to ruin their sport, but it's shady, fuck. Is Bellator. Bellator, I'd say, is the biggest sporting. Tennis is a little fucked at times. Some of these Russian dudes. But that's different. Like, they get threatened and shit, right? Like, that Davydenko guy wasn't throwing it on purpose. I think they told him, listen, we're going to kill you, fuck. So anyways, like, there's a good example on the Bellator, okay? Bellator went to New Jersey like fucking 4 years ago. Bellator in Jersey, Atlantic City, I think it was. And they loaded the card with like a ton of fucking Russian dudes, all right? And there was like one Russian guy was really good, and he was like fucking a -600 favorite. It was like all these big Russian favorites and shit. And basically, like Odessa told me, it started like in the morning, man. Somebody tried to bet $40,000 on one of the fights, on a Bellator fight. Somebody tried to plunk down $40K at fucking at like Bodog type shit on one MMA fight. Okay. Somebody bets $40K on Conor McGregor or John Jones. That's okay. That's normal. You know what I mean? And there's, oh, you're telling me you want to bet, And we look at your account, and you're coming from Eastern Europe, and you want to bet 40K. Why? Because you like the guy? And then boom, about 10 minutes later, another book fucking got attempted. $50,000. They tried to spread it around on different Russian fights. And every one of them was the underdog. So it was comical. Like, they set off these flags like fucking ding, 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 ding. Every bookie, everyone around America was like, look at these guys. Fuck. Like, they think we're stupid. And lo and behold, man, they got action in, right? They fucking got action in some places. They tried like the full prong attack. Like, they tried to bet at every offshore book. They tried to bet with any fucking local street book they could. They tried to get any action they could on this shit. And lo and behold, man, all the favorites lost. Fuck. It was upset city, but the smart sports books didn't get beat because they knew it was dirty. Like, there's IP addresses, right? I could tell you guys stories, man, where fucking guys bet on MMA fights, and you look at the IP address, and it's coming from the hometown of the guy's fighter or the trainer and shit, and he's betting against his own fighter. Like, it's crazy shit. Like, sports books are like fucking the CIA and shit, guys. They know all the tricks, right, that they don't even let you know they know. So I know what they know quite a bit, and it's crazy. Like, they tell you, they're like, man, we knew exactly like fucking even like what street it was coming from. Like, Buddy told me, he's funny. He goes, these guys tried to bet like fucking 50K on a fucking Bellator prelim on the underdog in a Russian fight. And he goes, they live in the Russian part of New York. Fuck. Like, you know, it's like they don't even hide it. You know what I mean? Like, at least fake it. It's coming from Iowa, so I don't know. Maybe it's just some smart MMA bettor. It's like, no. It's coming from Little Russia and fucking in Hell's Kitchen or wherever. You know? It's like, I wonder what the Russians are up to today. And, you know, they just ambush. They try to do every fucking book. And lo and behold, there was upset city. I won, too, because I knew. I knew from the inside that all the fights were rigged. So I was like, I'll take all the underdogs if these guys are trying to get in on it. And lo and behold, it was upset city that night. There's another fight that I'm not going to say the guy's name because I don't want to get sued, but I'm not going to allege anything. But I'll tell you right now, I almost guarantee you he threw the fight. I guarantee you he threw the fight. I know, anyways, but I can't say that because it's strong allegations. And it's a named guy, so. But I know I know what happened. It wasn't in the UFC, though. UFC fights are not fixed. Like, I'm not saying never. You got to be naive. Like, you can never say never about anything, but it doesn't mean it's prevalent. Fuck. Right? So, boxing is shady with the judges, but boxing will fuck you with the props and shit. You know what I mean? Like, Floyd Mayweather wins, but they don't make it unanimous. And basically, they just bet non-unanimous decision. Nobody really notices. Nobody complains, and everyone goes home happy. Right? Like, they have their ways and their little angles of doing these things. And it doesn't behoove them. Like, I follow this shit closely. I have Declan Hill on my show often, who's like the foremost investigative reporter in this shit. And it doesn't behoove some cartel to blatantly throw something. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, look, fucking, the Germany lost to fucking Mali. You know what I mean? Bali beat fucking Brazil. And, it was 9-0. Everyone's going to know, right? The best criminals do it and continue to do it. Not once and flashy. They want to fucking just blend in like chameleons and just nail you and not even know what you're up to. You're like, holy fuck, I never even thought of it. They're betting on yellow cards, fuck. Right? They'll get to a referee and they'll say, listen, we're not asking you to throw the game. No integrity problems. He goes, we just want to bet on the fucking yellow card prop. So we want to bet on the over on the yellow cards. Fouls. So all we're asking you to do is call a couple of fouls on both teams early. You're not affecting the game. You're not hurting anybody. right? They don't want, it doesn't help them to go with a gun to someone's head. Fuck you. You better fucking throw this. Like, it doesn't work. Like, right? Like, they want to, they want to keep it moving without you knowing. And they're always looking for little edges. Like, I saw an interview with like the head match fixer. It's fascinating. He's the biggest match fixer in the world. He's out of it now. And he's like, he's out of Singapore, Hong Kong cartel. And he's like an Indian guy, fuck. And like, these guys are the heaviest of the heaviest, fuck. And he was coy and shit, but he did an interview with like one of their versions of 60 Minutes. And he basically said that. He goes, no. He's like, he said, the whole, you get more fucking, you get more bees with honey than vinegar. And he said, no. He goes, threatening people is out of movies. He goes, that's just dumb. He goes, that doesn't get you anywhere. And he's basically saying if you threaten people, they're going to go to the authorities. So he goes, no, you got to make people feel happy, right? So, and he kept talking about, he was saying that they don't bother with players. He goes, like, basically players are too stupid. He goes, the real power is getting to the federation. That's what he was talking about. He goes, no, we don't really care about players. We want to get to the federation. And then he said, the federation decides what players play and don't play. And it was like, holy fuck, you guys are that heavy. Eh? You're not worried about like, oh, it's offside or not. No. You guys want to decide who's on the team. Fuck. Right? Like, there's different angles, but I just wanted to say that to me, this mobster's way off. He goes, oh, today it's easier to do and the kids will do it more. No, they won't. The kids are already making money from Nike and fucking shoe deals and fucking envelopes and cars and fucking guys. Like, the college kid isn't as broke as they make themselves out to be on the big programs, okay? Look at Michigan. Michigan football players are going to fucking Italy and Paris every fucking year. They're walking around in like fucking thousands of dollars in swag. They never pay for a fucking meal. They all have fucking rides and shit. Wink, wink. Oh, they work for the car dealer. You know what I mean? Come on. So they don't. No, Declan Hill, there's like a Russian guy that wants to kill Declan Hill. I'm dead serious. There's like a hit on Declan Hill. The Indian Hong Kong guy got busted. Fuck. I don't know if you guys remember. It was in the last World Cup. Not this one, but the one before. It was in Macau. They set up shop in Macau and in Las Vegas for the World Cup. And they took the biggest bet in sports history. You guys know what it is? The biggest bet in sports history. What do you think it is? One bet. I'm not talking about the biggest handle. One bet. They took it. This cartel. Because this is another thing. People think they're throwing games and betting. They're bookies. They're bookies. They're taking the action. So you're betting and they're controlling the game. They're not betting on it. That's the genius of it. That's what people don't understand. It's like they're going through all this trouble and you're betting on it. They're not betting on it. That's the thing. People think, oh, these guys are doing all this and then they're betting on it. No. They're taking the bets. They're like the big Asian fucking bookie cartel syndicates, and these guys gamble, billionaires, millionaires and shit, right? Fucking, so they're taking bets, but they know, yeah, we're taking a bet, but we got to the referee in this game, so don't worry about it, fuck, right? So how much do you think it was? It was the biggest bet. No, Andy Martin. It was the 2014 World Cup. It was documented too. Well, it said it's factual. $50 million. A Chinese guy bet $50 million on a World Cup soccer game and won. And they paid. Like, he bet $50 million on one game. That's gambling, fuck. I got goosebumps, fuck. Look at that. Yeah, like, wow, fuck. You imagine, fuck, $50 million. Like, you couldn't even, that's probably like fucking containers on ships full of money. Like that, what do you do, fuck? Like, you might, like, where's the money? Like, wow, we've got like 12 trucks stacked at the top of money in the back, fuck. $50 million. I don't know what the odds were. Yeah, like that's, I don't even know. Like, if you put it in paper. Yeah. These guys, they're the biggest syndicate, biggest gambling cartel syndicate in the world. Let's see. Hong Kong. It was in Macau. Hong Kong. It was at Macau Casino. They would hang around the Macau casinos and like hook up with high rollers and tell them, listen, fuck this place. If you want to bet real money, you bet with us. Oh, this is fucking awesome, man. Listen to this. Kuala Lumpur, Hong Kong syndicate. Fuck. On the streets of Kuala Lumpur, Hong Kong, and far other eastern cities, results of Premiership football matches are eagerly awaited as anywhere as they are among British fans. Thanks to modern technology, Premiership matches broadcast live in Britain are shown throughout Asia, helping to make clubs household names. Manchester United are estimated to have 50 million fans in Asia alone. Comes with it is gambling. Listen to this. This is how fucking detailed this cartel is. When Eng Huang Ling and Shi Q Ong first arrived at Charlton Athletics home ground late last year, officials had little idea that their plans were being laid out to carry one of the most daring stunts witnessed in English football history, and had already been successfully executed on 2 different occasions. The court was told that the 2 men posed as managers of a Far Eastern stadium interested in discussing security. They were ideal frontmen for the betting syndicate. Lim and Ong were joined by scam by Wai Yan Lui, who drove them across the grounds days before their game against Liverpool and acted as a facilitator for other members of the syndicate. Investigation showed Liu was linked to the Triad gang, the Wo On Lock, who was associated with an illegal Hong Kong betting syndicate whose members were arrested before the World Cup. Lim was an electronics engineer who ran his business in Penang, Malaysia, giving him expertise to sabotage electrical systems. Like Ong, he was a football fanatic and a keen gambler. Scores of betting syndicates operate in the Far East with gambling on Premiership matches, particularly becoming a multi-million pound industry. As much as 30 million pounds have been bet on matches in what's 30 million pounds? It's like 60 million bucks. So on the games being shown. So basically, like, the gambling's through the roof for the EPL. Most of the gamblers are wealthy businessmen placing wagers with clandestine bookmakers who run their operation around a handicap system. The team is given a half a goal or a 1-goal head start. Punters back in the team and beat the handicap. They double their money. But this is what they do. This is fucking genius. And I know about this story and other ones like this. It's fucking, like, God, they're smart. Fuck. For the match at the Valley on February 13, Charlton were given a half-goal head start. If the match ends in a 1-1 draw, those backing Charlton to win would have doubled their money. The syndicate's idea was simple. fix the game by tampering with the lights. Using a remote control mechanism, the floodlights could be switched off, causing the match to be abandoned. Under Far Eastern Asian betting rules, if a match is ended after halftime, all bets stand. Fuck, man. They fucking remote control Jimmy rigged the fucking stadium for a Liverpool game and remote control shut the fucking lights off for the night. Like, see, they ain't fucking putting a gun to someone's head. Fuck, you let a goal in. Come on, man. They're sending fucking mechanic fucking engineers to England. Listen, you go on the stadium, you pose as a fucking investor, and you fucking, in reality, you're fucking sabotaging the floodlights, and it's fucking genius, man. It's genius. It just is, fuck. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's so simple. It's like, well, how do we do this? I don't know. Well, as soon as the game's official. So I've heard another story about this too, and the same thing was in the EPL, and they paid off the fucking city guy. Basically, they found out who the guy was in like this town. I'll have the story here. So they found out who the guy in the town was essentially, and they went to him. They said, "Listen, fuck, we're gonna give you $150,000. All we need you to do is shut the fucking power off in the city at this time." And he did it. And bam, he did it like the night of a game that they bet on. It's genius, fuck. Police are convinced that the syndicate was also responsible for sabotaging two other Premiership games. The first in 1997 at Upton Park, with West Ham at home to Crystal Palace. The floodlights failed after 65 minutes with a score tied at 2. The following month, at a game at Selhurst Park, south of London, between Wimbledon and Arsenal, also had to be abandoned with the same score. Both games were broadcast live in Asia at the time. Police investigators showed the wiring in the powering rooms of the stadium had been tampered with in the same way. Police established a link between the two Malaysians and their travels, and two employees at Upton Park and Selhurst Park respectively suggesting that they'd be approached. So basically, the syndicate sends the smart fucking electrician guys, but it's hard to fucking get into the power room of the stadium and shit, right? So they bribe the guy in the stadium, fuck, let us in, fuck, all right? And we're going to fuck with the lights. Detective Superintendent Andy Sellers, who had an investigation, we had enough evidence to indicate that the same syndicate. We made inquiries across the Far East and established a connection between what was going on in England and the action that was going on in the Far East. Lim, using the name John, and Ong, using the name Mark, set about completing a hat trick of stings by approaching Roger Firth, a security guard at the Valley Stadium. They took him out to dinner. They then took him to the Golden Horseshoe Casino in West London, and they told him of their sabotage plan. They offered him £20,000, which is about $40,000. They actually told him, listen, we've already done this before. It's easy. We're going to give you £20,000 right now, but all we need you to do is just give us a key and give us access to the fucking stadium power room. He did. He took the offer. Firth then enlisted the help of another security guard, Dave Russian, who was offered £5,000 to turn a blind eye when Lim and Ong showed up in the middle of the night, days before the match. Russian got cold feet and snitched and alerted the police. The police were awaiting when the fucking Asians showed up at the stadium. Fucking cocksucker. It's fucking always a snitch, huh? Yeah, they weren't shutting hospitals down and shit. They have backups. I know, listen, these guys, as we just read, these guys were only fucking with the stadium lights. But I do know it happened where they shut down the lights in the fucking town and people were pissed about it. It did cause havoc and shit. There was like a lot of robberies and whatever. Like they shut the town. I think it was in like fucking Liver. I don't know where. I think I'll look it up. Fuck. It was in a tough town too. Fucking. They fucking shut it in Brighton or something. They shut the lights down. And they did shut it down in the town. They weren't as sophisticated. They figured, let's just shut the fucking. They shut it down, though. It wasn't a whole city. They shut it down like in a 12-block radius around the stadium. All right, so yeah, we'll bring Big Man on. We'll take one quick break, Big Man. We'll get Big Man on here in a minute. We'll talk more soccer here. I know. Like, hey, what's this guy's name? What's this guy's name? You're a fucking asshole, Firth. Oh, Russian. Yeah, Dave Russian. Good job, Dave Russian. What do you care? Fuck. Everyone's got a good thing going here. Your buddy Firth fucking was making $40,000. You get your buddy arrested. You could have made fucking $10,000. All you have to do, what do you care if these guys come in and fuck with the lights? Well, I guess you are the security guard. Fucking yeah. Firth then enlisted the help of another. See, that was your problem, Firth. Why did you fucking do that? Like, you should have just kept it down low. Telling you, if you're going to commit a big crime, you got to do it like, don't tell anyone about it. Firth enlisted the help of his buddy, like Dave Russian, who the syndicate offered £5,000 to turn a blind eye when Lim and Ong showed up to the grounds. Russian, however, alerted the authorities, who arrested Lim, Ong, Lou, and Firth. Oh, fuck. The cops actually fucking let them do it first to prove it. So poor Ong and fucking Lee fucking Jimmy rigged the fucking lights, thought it was all good. Police busted them in their BMW and proved it with the equipment and blah, 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 blah. Fucking Scotland Yard on the case here, huh? Police then checked the powder room and the ground and found that the wiring had been rigged, allowing the floodlights to be switched off. Footprints and fingerprints were then matched belonging to Ong and Lee from all three stadiums. Hey, I'd like to know Dave Russian. If I was this Dave Russian guy, I'd be watching my fucking back, motherfucker. Like, you just fucked over a pretty big cartel. We should know. Look, that story's from the 90s, though, right? 1997. That shit's not happening now. I'm not saying that the cartels aren't still trying, but they're always evolving. It's like steroids. So like I said, I know that they're onto the cards now and shit. They like the card prop because no one really cares about it and notices. That's why Bet365 had to take the Canadian Soccer League off the board. Like, the Canadian Soccer League still exists. If you remember, Bet365 used to have it, but the Hong Kong cartel fucking got to it here in Toronto. The games were rigged. Fuck. We're talking about rigged sports. Soccer is the one. Like, there's games in the Middle East and shit where teams are scared to win because the fucking king owns the other team and he's going to kill everyone. Fuck, you know? So it's not rigged because of gambling, but it's still rigged. Korean Basketball League was rigged a few years ago. They cleaned it up, though. The Filipino leagues are pretty shaky. I had a basketball agent directly tell me, though, that I had a basketball agent directly tell me, fucking, don't bet on the fucking Korean fucking league. It's rigged. He told me it was the coaches, though. He said it's like the players aren't the ones missing shots. It's the coaches. The coaches get bribed by gangsters and they're scared and shit. And they're told who to play and not to play. So he said, like, the rotation will be fucking whacked out and shit. Like, Buddy will pull out the best player and shit. Like, but that's amateur hour next to the soccer stuff. Like the cartels and shit, they're not fucking with Korean basketball. The Chinese, Korean, Filipino basketball, that's just all sort of rich Chinese guys, businessmen. Basically, he was saying, like, the team owners want to win so bad, they'll bribe the refs to help them win. It's not so much for gambling. Like, it'll be two, like, billionaire rival guys, right? So they'll both try to rig the game. Soccer is different just because it's so global, right? Like NFL football, like they said, there's like 50 million people watching a Manchester United game in England. Like, there's not 50 million people watching an NFL game around the world. Like in Asia, I mean, there's 50 million people watching a Manchester United game. 50 million people watch the fucking Super Bowl. So it's just the numbers are so fucking massive. I'm very yeah, I look forward to some Rage OG next week with my man Chris Edge. But I'm proud of myself. It's been I got back here Monday, and I've smoked outside. I haven't smoked indoors once. That's not true, actually. Someone was fucking, my neighbor fucking had kids out on a balcony earlier. Fuck, I had to smoke in my bathroom. But other than that, I got to air this place out. Fuck, like I'm leaving. Like it's been a real like rush and shock. Just be, I got the Vegas thing. I'm going to be in Vancouver. I'll be back here for one day, and then I'm gone. And fortunately, I still have the place, so I don't have to get everything out. But I won't have time when I come back. So, like, this shit's getting real. And it's sore. I told the lady I'm splitting and shit. She wasn't happy. She's like, all right, you're going to give me 60 days? I'm like, you got 45 days. Fucking enough notice. What do you want from me? Big man on campus steps up. And what's going on, big man?
How are you, pal?
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for stepping in earlier in the week. It's been a rough-ass week, obviously. You know, I don't feel better, actually, like after these shows. But during the shows, it's good to blow off some steam for a couple of hours. Yeah,
well, you look well. I know it's been a tough week for you. My condolences again. I hope you find plenty of peace going forward. And, you know, I saw your mom that one night out in Vancouver. She seemed like a sweet woman. She reminded me of my own mother, you know. So I send you my condolences.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but you know, hey, we're blessed. I was blessed. I look at the positives actually more than the negatives, but it's jarring. I'm still kind of in shock, to be honest. I got like a sick pit in my stomach that I've had doesn't go away.
Yep.
You know, maybe it'll eventually go away. I know, but
well, you know what? The great thing about that, there's one great thing. She'll look down on you, man. You'll see her someday on the other side. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Like. None of us are here forever. You got to appreciate each moment. Everybody deals with grief, and everyone's going to deal with loss. People just deal with it at different times. You know,
yep.
It comes at different times. Seems to have hit us all at once, but it's just crazy. Like, you know, that happens, and then boom, we're going to Vegas. Like, I'm leaving Wednesday, and then, you know, after Vegas, basically, boom, I'll be in New York the following week. So. Kind of my last few nights here. Tomorrow night, actually, we'll get you on. It'll be it's our final Saturday night Patreon show from here.
How about that?
Kind of crazy, right? It's gonna be sentimental. I think Taylor and Sonny might be coming down.
Well, eventually, I'll come up to New York. We could do a little Patreon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, it's funny because it's it. Tomorrow night will be Patreon here. It'll be an emotional show tomorrow because it'll just be realer and shit. And then next Saturday will be the Patreon from Las Vegas. And then the following Saturday will be the big Notre Dame Michigan game and everything. And I'll be in New York City, starting September the 1st.
No turning back. It's exciting.
Yeah, I'm ready to rock. Well, we're not quite ready yet, but we will be. We will be when we're throwing it down there. I was looking when the Eagles play. You guys should come up.
New start. I think the 6th.
A new chapter, a new era, exactly. But
I think it's the 6th or 7th, 6th or 7th.
So we got Vegas around the corner too. When do you get into Vegas?
I get into Vegas Friday around 1:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, you're cutting it right to. You want to be your fast should be late.
I want to get in and get out.
You want to get in and get out. You know why you're so negative about Vegas? Vegas is a great city.
Yeah, it's too fucking hot. You know where I'm leaving from, right? I'm leaving from the shore. I'd rather be there. But no, I'm gonna have fun. I'm excited to meet you guys. But yeah, we're leaving at 10 o'clock in the morning, Donnie and I. So
on Friday. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting in there Wednesday night. I've got stuff to take care of, though. There, I got to get.
Okay, the thing was, I said to them, "I'll come in earlier." I felt like it was a big deal, so it was like,
well, I should know. Yeah, I'll be paying for my own room those Wednesday and Thursday.
there you go. I asked to get an upgrade, and they said no. I said I wanted a suite. They said no.
Yeah, I didn't get any like grieving room or anything. Like, there's no sympathy room. Like, all right, I mean, like, he's fucking going through a lot. Just give him a damn room on the Wednesday and Thursday.
Or like, hey, we'll pick up that 2 nights. You're gonna be there.
Yeah, it's like
we got you.
You know how much? To be honest, I got to get a room for Wednesday and Thursday.
Even though everything's a tax write-off anyway, it's like
I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be staying either at the Nugget on Wednesday or Thursday.
We could stay over at that place Cam stays at.
Cam's staying there on Wednesday night, and we're on the same plane. He legitimately told me that today, like with a straight face. He said, "Why don't you just stay at the El Cortez with me and my girl?" I sort of looked at him, and I fucking thought for a second. Then I said, yeah.
I don't know.
We'll just hook up on Thursday.
I don't really want to get. I don't really want to get stuck by a needle. I'll stay away.
Yeah, I'm not going to be. I'm not staying at the El Cortez. Fuck. I'm not staying at the El Cortez. I'll be at the Nugget. We'll be at the Nugget over the weekend for the conference. I haven't decided where I'm going to stay on Wednesday and Thursday, but one thing I'll tell you, big man. I don't give a shit. I'm just busting their balls. They don't have to pay. I don't care. It's fucking. Hotel rooms on Wednesday night in Vegas are like $20 a night, $22 a night.
Why do I have a feeling Circus is in your future?
It could be. You know why Circus? Because they accept me, big man. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like Circus. I get in there. I give them the deposit. It's the same shit. They don't seem to care. You smoke weed in the room, like whatever. Like their internet seems to work fine. I like the margaritas. I can go to the Vince Neil bar. They have a nice little sports book there. It's good location, Circus. Because basically, to be honest with you, SLS is really nice. And SLS is across the street from Circus. So I basically stay at Circus, but I go hang out at SLS a bit. But the first night I get there, I'm not going to be drinking or anything. And then on the Thursday, I got to enter the super contest and go down to the Westgate and all that type of business shit.
Yeah, I got to go over to William Hill and enter that college contest.
Yeah, good call. I forgot about that. The Will Hill, there's a Will Hill at the D, which is right next to the Golden Nugget.
Yeah, I got to run over there.
Probably go over there. I'll go over with you.
Yeah, I gotta hit that up for sure.
The Grinch, yeah, SLS is nice. Thing with SLS, Grinch, is it's very, very nice in there. It's like classy in the SLS, except it's not douchey. And they're kind of hurting for business, so they're not assholes with you. You know what I mean? Like if it's a nice place and they're doing well, they're gonna be pricks. Fuck. Like they don't want it. They're like, fuck off. We don't want you here. But SLS, they'll take anyone, fuck. So it's nice, and they're actually not assholes. And for some reason, I've always wanted SLS. Like every time I play blackjack at SLS, I win. Fuck. Wally George says he'll be at the Plaza. He hopes to see us. Well, we're doing the conference at the Golden Nugget, Wally. So
yeah,
it's come to the Golden. Like, so what does that mean, Wally? You're up the street, and maybe we'll run into each other. Like, are you going to the IPC or not? Like,
yeah. Why don't you just make your way down to the IPC, cuz?
Like he said, like, I hope I'll see you guys. I'll be at the Plaza. And me and Big Man, we make sure to come to the Plaza.
Is that even close?
Yeah. The Plaza's right on Fremont, but
why don't you just come over though? Like,
I probably won't make it that high up the street.
Wally, listen, if you come over, I'll definitely fucking link up with you.
Me and Cam talked about the Golden Nugget today. Here's Kyle Hamburg. Settle down, Kyle.
Oh, God.
Always about the food.
Settle down, Hamburg.
No, I'll go eat with you, Kyle. I'll go eat with you. We're going to go to the fucking Heart Attack Grill, bro.
No, you're not.
I'm scared you're going to die, fuck, so we can't go there. Were you up for that hamburger or what? Are you willing to fucking eat the most calorific hamburger in the world, 9,983 calories? No, I was just kidding about that. I don't want to go there.
Hey, Gabe, the other night, right, one of my boys calls me. He goes, I got to tell you, he goes, that fucking Ian Cameron video the other night was fucking hilarious.
Which one?
Let me shove another pizza in your mouth, Bruce Chad. Why don't you fall asleep for another hour like you usually do?
Babano got heated on Wednesday here, too.
No, I know. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. He fucking said.
He's been getting definitely very touchy-feely lately with that.
The chat, I kind of feel bad because I kind of started it. You know, he argued with like 20 minutes. Then I said, well.
And what? He didn't give you a legit opinion, right? It's just like,
I said, so what are you saying? You know, because I said I like the Chiefs to go over. And then he shot on the Chiefs and he upset me. And not really upset me personally, but I was like, listen, fuck. So I started going through the Chiefs' numbers. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then at the end, yeah, he didn't give an opinion. He had no side. We're like, so what are you saying then? Under? He's like, no, I'm not saying that. And then I said, well, that was a pretty Teddy Covers thing you just did. And fucking, you know, I was like, wow.
Well, he learned from the best, doesn't he work? He works.
I know, like an influence from Teddy. You know, I was like, dude, you just argued for 20 minutes with me, but now you got no pick on it, at least. Like, put your name on it. It's one of those deals. I was like, at least put your name on it. Yeah, it's like Birdman, right? Put your name on it, fuck. So fucking what's the coach? Put your name on it.
Exactly.
And then fucking Bruce Chad, Bruce Chad said that was a whole lot of long-winded nothing. And fucking Babano lost it. Fuck. What do you want me to fucking do if I don't have a fucking opinion? You want me to make up with a fucking opinion? It was actually pretty funny. Like you said.
Yeah, he gets he'll jump on you.
That was pretty cool.
I get the feeling he doesn't like Bruce Chad very much.
Well, I think I don't know. Bruce Chad likes to give it, you know, so he's got to take it every time.
Yeah.
The most peaceful guy in the chat's my man, Profits for Life, Pushy.
Yeah, there's a couple guys that are pretty peaceful in here.
You know, it's like Profits for Life. They never causes problems.
I don't think I've ever seen Chris Edge cause any problems.
Chris Edge, good guy. Kyle Hamburg's a troublemaker.
No, I don't think he is.
I'm just busting his balls.
I mean, most of these people are pretty good.
I got a lot of Friday, got interviews and media. Yeah, we're going to bring you on the show, Kyle, whenever you get in.
Settle down, Hamburg. Hamburg's talking about burgers and everything.
Yeah,
Settle down, Hamburg.
That's peaceful. Yeah. So, okay. So did you hear me talking about like the Hong Kong syndicate and cartels and their brilliance and how they fix
Yeah,
it?
I'm actually I'm fascinated by Asian gangs.
I know, me too. I love it. Fuck this. I love these Hong Kong cartels. Fuck.
I follow like a lot of like.
But you see, big man, you see what they're like they don't go with violence because like they said, you go with violence, you got cops on you. And you can't just start threatening everyone all the time.
See, the thing is here though, like in New York, like in Chinatown in New York, they were very violent. Like the Flying Dragons and like some of the different gangs.
Pay them, yeah.
Yeah. There was a guy named Machine Gun Johnny Yang. He was a big time, like he would.
Machine Gun Johnny.
Yeah, he literally controlled Chinatown, and he was ruthless. But see, they're close to Hong Kong because if they get in trouble, they just jump on a plane and go to Hong Kong.
Exactly. You can't extradite them.
And he blended in for years, and then eventually got caught. But
that's the thing with these guys in Singapore and shit. They're untouchable, basically.
Yeah, because they can just jump because they're so smart with like visas and passports.
Exactly. Like even they got stung in Vegas, this cartel during the World 2014. They set up in Macau and they set up in Vegas. And
yeah, the one guy's a big poker player, Paul Fua. He's a big
yeah. He was a part of this thing, yeah. So the crazy shit is the FBI was like, this is the biggest fucking cartel. We just busted them. These guys are going to jail. It was right out of like a fucking mob movie, dude. Like the fucking Asians were walking out of the fucking jail like 2 hours later with smiles on their faces. And they went, see you later, guys. And they fucking
they're bigger than
we'll be back for court. Fuck. Yeah, good luck with that. Fucking they flew back to Macau. Fuck you. And you're like they're in with the Chinese government and shit, these guys. Like they bribe everyone. You know what I mean? They're untouchable.
I mean, you couldn't run a business like that just, without paying off cops and
All right, here's
Government
another
people.
one. So this one's I told you. So we just read about so it's pretty good though, isn't it, big man? That they thought, let's just fucking shut the fucking lights down. Pretty smart of them.
Oh yeah, they're getting more high tech with instead of just like going up to people and saying, "Hey, here's 50 grand, like missed the kick or something."
Yeah, no, exactly. Here's
That's some heist type of shit. Like they're heisting, like they're going at like security people and people like that.
I like this. Hong Kong police arrest teen bookie. Sees $2.4 million. This is good. Hong Kong police arrest teen bookie and seize $2.4 million in illegal World Cup betting slips. The 17-year-old is a suspected triad member and believed to be using a flat as a call center.
17.
Yeah, and look, he's this gang, the triad. These guys are the badasses. So they gave him a project, right? You rent the place, and you got this town for the World Cup. You know.
Mm-hmm.
17-year-old Hong Kong youth was among suspected bookmakers arrested. This is this year's World Cup. 17-year-old Hong Kong youth was among suspected bookmakers arrested Thursday night as police seized over $2.4 million in soccer betting slips. The teenager believed to be a member of the Sun Yi On Triad gang was picked up at about 10 o'clock when anti-triad officers raided a flat in Tai Po. The police said it was through the premises used as a call center where the suspects took illegal bets on the matches in Russia. Inside the flat, officers see 4 mobile phones, blah, 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 blah.
The triads are actually pretty big in your area, Gabe.
Yeah, I know.
In Toronto and like over Vancouver, places like that.
Yeah, they're worldwide. Let's see what else we got here.
The triads probably, other than probably Mexican cartels, they're probably the most violent, most organized gang in the world.
Macau police smash illegal betting ring who took in $5 billion. Yeah, this is the one that I started talking about. $5 billion, big man.
That's a lot of money, man.
All right, so I said 50 million. So they're saying 40 here. This is the store I was talking about earlier where it started. Hong Kong. Macau police smashed a legal betting ring that took in $5 billion in World Cup wagers in the 2014 World Cup. They're arrested in Macau hotel as evidence suggests that they took $40 million one game. You believe
$40 million on one game?
Yeah. I asked the guys earlier, what do you think? It's the largest sports bet in the history of the world by one guy. I thought it was 50 million. They're saying 40 million here. Imagine being a bookie and taking that. Fuck. A bookmaking racket allegedly took $5 billion in illegal bets on the World Cup football matches in 1 week, including a single $40 million wager was arrested in Macau. The syndicate was described as the biggest illicit soccer betting ring uncovered in the world. They raided the Macau operation, blah, blah, blah. They arrested 22 people aged 23 to 50. 2 women were among the 9 Malaysians and 9 mainlanders also arrested. Information indicates that the syndicate accepted bets before and during the matches, live in-game. That's why they needed a lot of manpower to take the bets via the internet and the telephones. Officers removed betting slips and accounts from the 3 rooms, along with more than $2 million in cash, 17 computers, and 10 mobile phones. Initial investigators showed that about $5 billion was bet on the World Cup, and they found a betting slip for $40 million on one match. The second syndicate, rated to believe, took in $5 million on illegal matches in a single day.
Wow.
Single day. Four Malaysians were arrested. One of them had $500,000 cash on him. How about this? In a joint operation earlier in the week, officers seized records and bases from Hong Kong and Guangdong showing $760 million taken in bets on soccer matches and horse racing. Since the World Cup has kicked off in Brazil, this is all from 2014. Since the World Cup has kicked off in Brazil, Hong Kong police have arrested 39 suspected illegal cartels and bookmakers and confiscated over $85 million. Like it did. Hong Kong's illegal sports betting market is believed to have generated $500 billion in action last year. 4 times that of racing and soccer betting operations of legal. Jesus fucking Christ, man.
It's a lot of money, man.
Like we can't even imagine this much money, big man. Like this Asian shit.
Oh no, it's huge. Huge organizations.
Like I read it earlier, they said that 50 million people in Asia watch Manchester United matches, dude. 50 million people in Asia alone, big man, are watching Man U games. Think of all the money between those guys watching that game.
I mean, other than like the illegal drug trade, they're probably the biggest organization in the world. I mean, the illegal drug trade, like the Mexican gangs and stuff, they're probably the biggest just because of the profits, but I don't know. Gambling seems pretty huge. A lot of Asians gamble, man.
Man, you'll see it in Vegas. Well, I'm sure you see it in Atlantic City, right? Dude, I'll show you in Vegas, man. You'll see Asians. They're casually betting like $18,000 on a hand of baccarat.
Well, I actually got in a fight with an Asian at Atlantic City last time I was there because they're fucking sitting at the table, and this motherfucker, he's always at the Trop when I'm there, and this motherfucker's always talking in Chinese to other people. And I said, motherfucker, Chinese ain't at the table. We speak English at this table. And he's, wait, what? I said, no, you talk English. He said, why you care? I said, because you could be colluding with other players. That's why. But yeah, some of them they're little pricks, some of them.
Yeah, but that won't go down well in Vegas if you're trying to have some places.
No, you don't do that.
The Asians run Vegas. Like, without the Asians, fuck, Vegas would be bankrupt, fuck.
Oh, yeah, they love to gamble, man.
The baccarat, they're rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Grinch was in Tokyo. They're putting casinos ahead for the Olympics. Good.
Oh, yeah, they love baccarat.
Baccarat, yeah. House, it's like you bet on the bank or the player.
Yep.
If you guys want like the best game for like cheap drinks and shit, you play Pai Gow in Vegas.
Pai Gow poker.
Yeah, Pai Gow. And
wait, so let me ask you: they don't give
very, very slow, and you either win or you push every hand. Like I once lost $200 in like 10 minutes playing Pai Gow, and the lady told me I'm the first person she's ever seen do that. Because I got bored. Fuck, I was sitting there. And, it's like basically Pai Gow it's because it's cheap. You bet like $2 or whatever. And it just goes back and forth, man. And the dealer has to tell you what to do. Like she has to tell you what she has and shit in Pai Gow. So it's an easy, friendly game. It doesn't really go anywhere. It's hard to win money, but it's hard to lose money. So I got impatient, big man. And I fucking started putting $100 a hand on Pai Gow. The lady's like, you crazy. What are you doing? I was like, no, just fucking deal, fuck. And I lost like $200. She goes, I've never seen someone lose so quickly. Hit Pai Gow.
You're just getting bored, right?
Yeah.
Yo, Gabe, so in Vegas, they don't give you free drinks if you play? Atlantic City, that's a norm.
Yeah, they give you free drinks, yeah. You get free drinks, but it's fucking depends, the alcohol shit. And they're kind of slow. If you're drinking, I don't do the free drinks in Vegas, really. Like if I do, I'll get drink tickets. Like I'm not one of those guys that like hits up their fucking waitress for drinks too much. Unless it's like 4 a.m, I have a choice. Because I know they're shit. They're watered down and they give you this shitty well. It gives you a hangover.
Yep.
So what I do is basically like Circus. They give you a shitload of drink tickets when you bet there. So then I just take the tickets and I take them directly to the bar. And then I tell the chick at the bar, I don't want the shit, fuck. And then you give 2 drink tickets for 1.
Gotcha.
So I go, listen, I don't want the shitty vodka. I want the real vodka. And she'll be like, all right, that's 2 drink tickets. So I'm like, fine, fuck, right? I know all the little fucking tricks. Okay, so let's jump in. Look, last week was tough. Obviously, I had a tough. Hey, I told you guys, Dodgers D-backs parlay looking good so far. Last Saturday obviously tough, and even this week I'm not really in a groove here. I haven't, just everything's different. But I did do a little research and read up on the MLS games for tomorrow. I don't know much about the EPL. We'll count on you. But
Dude, Gabe, you got to bet on Premier League going forward.
No, I'm going to, but obviously just, last weekend I was occupied. So,
Yeah.
big game tomorrow. Number one, I don't know if your boy Zlatan's playing tomorrow. I don't think he is, but is he? I don't think so.
I'll tell you what, they have been really poor lately.
Their goalie sucks, bro.
Yeah, well, and they don't
Their
defend.
defense sucks too. I mean,
I've gotten really lucky with the totals in their games. Like I've literally just been sitting on every over, and they're coming in late.
Yeah, you saw that the other night. It was going under, and then in the last fucking 4 minutes, there's a bunch of goals. Yeah.
Yeah, I had over in that game. It was
off. I had the Galaxy. They kept blowing the fucking lead, man.
Yeah, according to
Galaxy are averaging combined 3.6 goals a game, which is the highest combination in MLS. So they're the highest scoring. They have the highest scoring overs. They average 3.6 goals a game combined.
Well, listen to this, Gabe. Galaxy won't send Dos Santos, Alessandrini, and Zlatan. None of them are playing. Jesus.
Seattle have won 5 games in a row.
Yeah, Seattle's playing well.
Real well right now. They look like the best team in the West suddenly. You see what Zlatan said? He said, "We don't make the playoffs the way we're playing."
They don't. They've been pure shit. The other night against Colorado, that was
embarrassing.
They've lost to Colorado and drew to Colorado.
I think Seattle are going to beat them.
Yeah, I actually like this price. It's a bit high, though. I think the under might. Well, then again, I mean,
I think the Galaxy,
Seattle defends, but it's like, will the Galaxy even have the ball? I mean,
they're expecting a massive crowd at Quest tomorrow, a big match. Like the bandwagon's getting bigger since the Sounders are winning now.
Yeah, I think Sounders are good in a parlay. I'd be looking to parlay, like parlay them with like maybe. The card sucks this weekend. I got to be honest.
Like, I don't trust FC Dallas in a parlay. Fuck that.
No, they've been playing shit lately.
I don't trust the LAFC. That game's Sunday.
Maybe Atlanta United.
I'll lay them minus 175.
I mean, Atlanta United and Seattle plus 151.
No, you're right. There are a lot of tough games this week. Now, Philadelphia's been playing a little better as of late.
Mm-hmm.
You got Philadelphia and New York FC. And New York FC's been struggling to keep the ball out of the net as of late. You're going into Philadelphia here. It's the winnable game for the Union. Tough game, though.
It is. And
goals, right? Look, the 2.5 minus 225 to the over, but I would imagine that there's goals in this game.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't really trust NYFC not at home. I mean, when they're on the road, I just don't really trust them. I would maybe, over as far as goals, I might be looking towards more both teams to score. I worry this one falls 1-1. That would be my one concern here. Because the Union are an okay defensive team. I don't know. I lean both teams to score here.
That's minus 250. It's high.
Yeah.
We should admit New York FC have given up 7 goals in their last 3 games.
They've hit a little rough patch.
Yet, David Villa's back.
Yep. He had a goal the other night.
To make a big difference, yeah. So I would lean the over. I'd go over 2.5 in that. It's minus 225, but I would lean over. Now we get the Vancouver Whitecaps and the New York Red Bulls. And I don't know, man. The Whitecaps are fucking terrible. And then I bet against them, and they fucking play well. It fucking pissed me off last week at Portland, whatever it was, 2 weeks ago. No, last week they lost at Portland, but it was the week before. At New York Red Bulls, that was the one. So Alphonso Davies is back. He didn't play against TFC. They played in this Canadian Cup shit, and TFC fucking beat the shit out of them. I don't know, man. They're pretty bad, Vancouver. I think their coach is going to get fired. Good. The only positive thing is they got so much fucking money for this Davies transfer that they're going to have money to buy some players for next year. So we'll see what they do with it. But they're pretty cheap, the owner of that team. What do you make of the Whitecaps in the Red Bull game?
Yeah, I'm not betting against the Red Bulls right now. They're playing great right now. Their defense has been good. They've only given up 23 goals this year. I mean, they've been real good at the back. I like Bradley Wright Phillips. I think this is nice.
Contenders, the Red Bulls. They can win it all.
I like this price. I think 140 is a really nice price. I mean, they seem to be able to go on the road and beat teams. They're a pretty good road team. I mean, they went on the road lately, beat Chicago, beat the Crew. They hung around against the NYFC. They beat Toronto on the road. I think on the road they're a fine team. This is probably a game I'm going to bet on. I like the Red Bulls here.
They're plus 140 against a not a very good Whitecap side. Montreal Impact and the Chicago Fire. It's a big game for both teams. Montreal's hanging on right now, barely to the final playoff spot. Their schedule gets tougher. The Impact are a pretty good home team, and they got some reinforcements coming in here. They signed what's the guy's name? Sanga this week. So they got some reinforcements coming in here. They're good at home. Chicago are terrible. They've lost 7 in a row. The Impact will win this game, minus 150. Tell you, that was a pretty nice draw for the Impact last week to get that on the road at Salt Lake. I think the Impact will hang on and make the playoffs. I don't think they'll do anything once they get there, but I like the Impact here at minus 150. The Fire are dumpster fire, pardon the pun.
Yeah, I like them here too. I think that home they're a real nice play. The Fire are I think other than the Earthquakes, the worst team in the league. I kind of like over 2.5 here as well. I mean, the Fire just cannot keep goals out. The Fire are almost as bad as Orlando defensively. I just worry about them not scoring. I worry about 2-0. I'll go with the Impact. I think the price is still low enough that I have interest in it.
I could be way off on this, but I don't trust Dallas at 275. I don't know what the fuck this was.
No. I'd be looking towards the United plus 1.5. I think that's a pretty good bet. They can't keep goals out right now, FC Dallas, and they have had trouble kind of scoring. I mean, lately at least. They're at home, but they've not had a good run of form lately. Minnesota United's not bad. They had a nice game the other night against the Galaxy. They hung around in that game. They actually got a draw out of it. Minnesota United's hanging. I don't think they lose by 2 or more goals here. You can get plus 1.5 at, I think, what did I want to say? Like 115.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Anytime I can get 1.5 goals in a game, I'm interested.
I know. I got burnt the other night fucking doing it. I took 1.5 with Salt Lake against LAFC. LAFC had been struggling. I figured plus 1.5. But yeah, you can get some decent numbers with this. There's such big underdogs here in this game. Fuck, I just don't see Dallas winning by 2 goals either, guys. Sporting KC and the Portland Timbers. Fuck Kansas City. This team pisses me off too.
Yeah, I hate the Timbers.
But Portland going on the road, that's not a good venture either. Though they're not very good when they leave the Pacific Northwest.
No, I don't have much on this game. Probably going to be a pass for me.
Houston Dynamo and Salt Lake. Salt Lake are really fading right now, but Houston are underachievers this year. Another kind of stay-away game. Can't really trust either team here. Houston probably win, but you can't trust them at 200. They're not that good this year, Houston.
No, I think this is a draw. I think I wouldn't mind taking maybe one of these games draw plus 333. Not a bad price. This just I can't really separate these two.
Toronto FC. It's now or never for TFC. I believe Altidore is going to miss this game, though. I think he got carded, so
he's almost. I think he might get sold as well.
To who?
I've heard some European teams are interested in him. I mean, he's played overseas before. I've heard a couple different clubs in Italy and France have been looking at him.
Yeah, a hat trick the other night too. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean he played in Spain. He's been in Sunderland. He was at Sunderland for a while.
I remember he played in EPL before, right? Yeah.
Played at Hull as well. Played at Villarreal in the La Liga. I would say he might be on his way out pretty soon. In this game, though,
San Jose have played a little bit better.
They're gutsy, San Jose.
Yeah, I know, but TFC at plus 170. I mean, I don't think they lose. I think it's either a draw or TFC win the game.
I think I'm crazy. I kind of lean goals in this game. I think this is 2-1.
Yeah, my little run of Earthquake unders has come to an end, actually.
Yeah, they've won over in the last few games.
Yeah, they have.
They're actually not playing bad, though. I mean, they beat FC. I mean, they dropped 3 goals in FC Dallas. What a joke.
I know. In Dallas. Mm-hmm. I told you, too. Remember, I swear, man. I remember it was a few weeks ago. I said, I'm telling you, man, they're scrappy, these guys.
I remember that week. It was like everything bad happened. It was
remember, it was the 0-0 game to Man U that caught my eye.
Yep.
It was 0-0, and I was like, you know what? I watched it, too. I was like, these guys fucking battle pretty hard for a shitty team, man. I remember the coach after saying, you know what, that was great. And he was kind of like, we're going in the right direction, I'm telling you. And no one really listened and believed him. And I was like, you guys can't score. But the last couple of fucking games, they're fucking showing up and shit. It's been pissing me off. But I think TFC can get it done here. I wouldn't be shocked if it was a draw plus 240.
If I'm taking TFC, I would look towards like that the draw no bet, like where you'll get your money back if they push.
Or you could go draw or TFC's minus 182.
Yeah, I'd look towards draw no bet. I mean, plus 100. If it's tied, you get your money back. No harm, no foul. But it is a nice price on TFC at plus 170. I mean,
they're way more talented, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty juicy. I might just do it.
I'm going to do it. We're going to be watching a game tomorrow.
Think about this, Gabe. Parlay you Red Bulls and Toronto FC together. Plus 548.
That's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and Sunday we got a few games here. Atlanta United, Columbus Crew. Atlanta United at minus 167. Hard not to like them there.
Yeah, I bet them at home every time.
DC United. Tell you what, Wayne Rooney's really brought some life to this squad.
Yeah, he really has. I actually I took Portland the other night. I was getting a half a goal, and I was thinking, wow, this is a great bet. DC's playing well. They went up 1-0 Portland. Then they gave up 4 straight goals. Pretty brutal. DC United's good at home, and they've been at home, Gabe, for a while. They've had a couple games in a row at home. I don't know that I want to jump off.
I think they'll win through evolution.
Yeah, but laying 143, and I mean, you can. I just can't bring myself to bet on DC United, but they're playing well.
And then in closing, we got LAFC, who I'll give them credit. They played well enough the other night. They're laying minus 250. I tell you, though, the Colorado Rapids, we saw them the other night against LA, so they've been in LA all week here. You know, they got some guys, actually, that can put the ball in the net. And LAFC are a lot like the LA Galaxy. They're not very good defensively. I don't love this game either side. LAFC probably win. They're so good at home. And, they probably, maybe they've stopped the bleeding a little bit. I'm not in love with it.
I mean, 5 straight games for Colorado have gone over, and I think they've scored a goal in 9 of 10. LAFC, I mean, we know they're going to put 2 on the board. I think the over is good here, but you got to lay 1 to 2 on it. I mean, that's a bit high. I think, you know what I would play here, Gabe, if I had the opportunity? LAFC in the over 2.5. It's probably around even money. I'd probably look to that.
LAFC and the over. All right, so let's get into some EPL.
Yes, sir.
The real deal here. Let's just hope that the syndicate aren't going to pull the lights.
I think that's gone.
Yeah, they're on the new scams we don't know about. All right, so we got Cardiff and Newcastle.
Yeah.
Any opinion here? Cardiff plus 230, draw plus 210, Newcastle plus 150.
Well, Cardiff are the worst team in the league, and they're going to go down this year. It's the question of against teams like Newcastle, who are kind of mid-table. They're not a great side. They got to travel on the road here. Newcastle, Gabe, are a team that are experiencing some owner issues. The owner won't buy players. He's kind of being, kind of cheap and coy. Cardiff, I think, can score a goal in this game. I'm looking both teams to score. I don't know if we'll get a clear winner here. I think this will finish 1-1. I don't think Cardiff will just roll over in this game. It's a home game. I don't think Newcastle are that much better than there. We have to realize, though, Cardiff are a team full of championship players. They're going to go down. They might even threaten Gabe as the worst team to ever be in this league. I mean, they're really bad. They might not get 20 points this year. But I think they can get a goal here maybe. It might lose, but I think at worst they score. I think it's 1-1, 2-1. I'll go both teams to score at plus 105.
All right, plus 105, both teams to score. Everton and Southampton. Everton are minus 110, draws plus 250, Southampton plus 350.
Yeah, I think, Gabe, if you're looking at a bet this tomorrow in the Premier League, it's got to look to be Everton. I think Everton are really a good side. Goodison Park is one of those old school places. The fans are fantastic. And this is a good team all of a sudden. They have a good manager now. They've went out and really kind of fortified their lineup. They have some new defensive players that I really like. And, Gabe, Southampton just don't win games. They're not a good side. They're traveling here. They haven't went up and won in Goodison Park in a long time. I want to say it's like 20 years since they've won in Everton. It's been a long time. I think at even money or close to even money, I think Everton's a banger tomorrow.
I like it. A banger. I like it. I'm going to jump in on that. I like it too at that price. All right, so we got Leicester versus the Wolves tomorrow. Seems like forever ago that Leicester was actually the champions in this league. They're plus 110 against Wolverhampton. What do you make of this one? Are Wolverhampton terrible?
No, Wolves are a good side. I thought they were a bit unlucky last week. They actually got Everton down to 10 men. Couldn't find a way to win the game. I think Wolves will struggle defensively in this league. They'll score goals, though. I have this one 2-2. I think it's a high-scoring match. I think it'll be a fun match.
You don't think Leicester wins? What did Leicester actually opened up with Man U last week. That's right.
They did. They actually played quite well. The problem was last week, Jamie fucking Vardy didn't play the whole game. Jamie Vardy's still fucking getting fixed up from his 15 minutes he played in the World Cup.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like, come on, man. Like
when I was at my mother's and her husband, like he's a BBC type of news guy. Like I had CNN. He's like, fuck CNN. He put on BBC.
Yep.
And it was cool. They came out with an EPL recap and shit. And I saw that. They're like, Leicester, they weren't fully fit because they were still recovering from the World Cup. I'm thinking, recovering from the World Cup? Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
And you know what pissed me off, too? Like
couple of guys, there was another team. They said, they only got 3 or 4 practices in because they were on vacation after the World Cup. It's like, what, you guys fucking make it to the Final Four and what, everyone gets the summer off after?
The World Cup was a month ago. Like, it ended a month ago. But Vardy, what pissed me off was Vardy actually scored a goal. And it's like
fucking Ronaldo fucking showed up at Juventus like fucking 3 weeks ago.
Right before the season. But yeah, I would go over in this game. This looks to be a fun match. I think Wolves, like I said, are going to struggle all year defensively. Last week it was 2-2 against Everton. I think you see a similar match here. Two teams that aren't great defending.
All right. Next up, we got Harry Kane and company here. Hotspurs, minus 350, plus 500 draw. They're one of the biggest favorites of the week, along with Man City against Huddersfield. So, what do you think they win by 1.5? Can they win by 2 here against Fulham?
I don't think they do. This is a London derby. Fulham, obviously, your boy Shad Khan's team here. They didn't play well in the first week. I thought they were a bit kind of just shocked by the how quick the EPL is and just how much of a better league. This is one I kind of passed on when we went over it on the Premier League show this year. For whatever reason, Gabe, Harry Kane, I don't think he's ever scored a goal in August. I don't know if you knew that. It's kind of amazing. He's can't score in August for some reason. There's literally a lid on the net.
They only play a couple more games in August.
Yeah, it's just weird. He's never able to find the back of the net. I think the price is high, though. I mean, you have to figure Fulham will be up for the game, but they weren't up for the game last week, and that was against another London team, Crystal Palace. This is a stay-away game for me. I guess gun to my head, I would take 1.5 goals with Fulham. I'd have to figure they have a better performance.
You could definitely put him in parlays.
Yeah, I think Tottenham will win for sure. But this is a pass game that I had this week.
I'm going to throw Tottenham in with something. I don't know. I'll find something to mix it up with.
But you know what, Gabe, is amazing about
actually, you know what? I'll mix it with the MLS. Who was the MLS that we said we didn't want to lay the big price with?
The Impact or
oh, it was another one. -2 fucking. Let me quickly check here. It's pissing me off. As soon as I see it, I'll be like, yeah, that's the one. Right, we said there's no way in hell we're laying 275 with FC Dallas. Oh, it was Seattle Sounders.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
Yeah, like, okay, look. So a Seattle Sounders, this will pay not bad. This will probably, in my estimation, this will probably turn into a plus 127, plus 130 or something.
Perfect.
Let's see. Hotspurs and Seattle Sounders. I was wishful thinking. Plus 102.
Even money.
Yep.
You know what pissed me off about this injury stuff of Vardy, too? Fucking Harry Kane played last week. He played way more minutes than Vardy.
And no shit. He played all the time.
Fucking guy.
All right. Oh, yeah, Tottenham clean sheet. That's a good option there too. But I think they probably win 2-0 personally. You know, that's what I'll go with.
Yeah, I mean, Fulham Football Club better get going here. I mean, they're a team that could be fall back pretty quickly here going forward. I mean, they got to get going. I mean, they need to score some goals. They have a tough schedule coming up here: Burnley, Brighton, Man City. I mean, all those teams are good defensively. They might not score a goal for a long time.
We got West Ham and Bournemouth, and I don't know. What about a draw in this one, a plus 260? Are either? Doesn't this sort of feel like a draw this game?
Well, West Ham United are a better side this year. They didn't show it the first game because they played Liverpool, and Liverpool is way better than everybody. I think this is an interesting and fun game too. I'd look over in this one. Both these teams can go forward. Bournemouth's kind of key is going forward. They don't really defend ever. And West Ham United, they have plenty of options as well. They were clean sheeted last week. I have to figure they're a bit better here. I'd look over 2.5 in this one. It is a tough, clear winner, though. I think West Ham are better, and they should win at home. Their fans are very passionate and really good at that stadium. I think West Ham will probably win, but I think the over is a better play.
All right, so you're going with the over, you say there, huh?
Yeah, West Ham's a team that I think could finish 7th or 8th in this league. I think they're really solid. They went out and made some nice moves in the transfer window. They were actually the team last year, Gabe, if you remember, late in the season, their fans attacked the owner during the game. They weren't happy.
Okay, so this next one probably is the game of the week in EPL.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least this would be like bigger years ago, but name recognition still big. Chelsea and Arsenal. One thing I noticed: who's the new coach at Chelsea, big man? Who's the guy? Was he an Italian?
Sorry, his name is.
Where's he from?
He's an Italian.
Yeah, Italian. That's what I thought. Italian. Yeah. I don't know, dude. Like I saw. Did you see his T-shirt last week? He looked like a fan. Fuck. Like.
Yeah,
like,
he's
like. You guys don't have like a coach's fucking golf shirt for the guy or something? Like he had like a Chelsea T-shirt. Huh?
Yeah,
he looked like a homeless dude almost. He was all like walking around the sidelines and he was talking to the crowd during the game. It was like fucking bizarro world watching this guy.
I mean, he literally, Gabe, he's literally coached like 10, like he's coached like 12 different clubs in Italy. Like he started out like coaching like really low level. I mean, a couple years ago, he was coaching fucking Sorrento. They're like a lower level club. He doesn't have a lot of experience as far as like winning experience.
Big time shit.
It was a weird appointment to me. And he is kind of a quirky guy. He worked as he actually, Gabe, used to work in banking. I don't know if you knew that.
From what I understand, though, he likes to play aggressive, right?
Yeah, which most Italian managers do. I liked Conte. I don't know why they got rid of him, but I think it's going to take some time before he gets his team going. They played fucking Huddersfield last week, or who are going down this year.
Yeah.
I actually like Arsenal. I'm actually going to take a shot with Arsenal plus the big price.
A little disappointing, though, the Arsenal result last week, isn't it? The 2-0 loss?
Not really. I mean, they played Man City. I mean, Man City are way better than Arsenal are. I think Unai Emery, the new manager at Arsenal, needs to kind of figure out the lineup. That was an Arsene Wenger lineup last week he put out. I mean, he's leaving his striker off the team. I mean, just weird lineup stuff. I don't think they're much far off from Chelsea. I think Chelsea lack a striker up front. I'm taking Arsenal here. I'm going to take a shot with the boys here. They were poor on the road last year.
Really, or not just why don't we take Arsenal plus a goal then if you like them? You think they can win the game outright?
I believe they can beat Chelsea. I don't think they're that much far off. I think Arsenal, this is a game that they really want. This is another London derby here. They hate Chelsea. I think if you want to be kind of safe, taking the half a goal is a great play, and it's something I'll do, but I'm also going to take a shot with Arsenal to win. I mean, 4.5 is or plus 350. That's a big price, and that's a price that I feel is a bit too high.
That is the big game. We got Burnley and Watford. Burnley and Watford. So what do you think of the Chelsea Arsenal though? So if you think Arsenal's going to win, you probably like over 2.5 because I imagine you think they win 2-1. I get the feeling Chelsea and Arsenal is a lower scoring game. What's the total here? So 2.5. Wow, unders plus 135. Like, you think it goes over the 2.5? I'm leaning under here.
I mean, I think both games last year were 0-0. So I worry about that. I worry about, both these teams kind of really being, kind of stoic and very, defensive minded. But
the big game, like you said, it's a rivalry. It's the second game of the year. Arsenal wants to get on track. They're not going to do anything crazy. It's not like Arsenal's lighting it up. They got shut out last week.
Yep.
And Chelsea's still learning a new system right now.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from the goals market here. I think if I would look at goals, I might look at actual goal scorers. Like I would maybe look at Aubameyang to score at plus 120. I'd look at maybe something like that, like an actual goal scorer. I'm skeptical to take the goals market though.
Burnley and Watford. That's on Sunday. Burnley and Watford. Burnley plus 150, draw plus 210, Watford plus 230.
Yeah, Gabe, Burnley are a fascinating team right now. They're actually in the middle of Europa League. They've been playing, Thursday, Sunday for the last week, basically. They went over and played at home this week. They actually advanced in that tournament. I think a lot of people are turned off by that. They're not ready to back Burnley. They think they're kind of underexperienced doing that in Europe and then playing in the league. But I think they're more match fit. They are a terrific defensive side. They kind of remind you of a Big Ten defense. They're very tough defensively.
Yeah.
They're tough to score on, but they also have trouble scoring. I'd be looking under 2.5 in this one. I would be blown away if this game goes over the number. I mean, I would even consider maybe under 1.5. But I think at this price, Burnley should be backed at home. They're really good at their home stadium, Turf Moor. They're a real small club, Burnley. If you know anything about them, they're a real small club up in the middle of England. I think they can get the job done here. Watford are a team that I think could relegate this year. At plus 150, I think that's a nice price on the Clarets here. I'd take Burnley.
Get some air here. Usually I only do the Patreon out here too much. My neighbors are going to be happy I'm leaving. I'm going to tell them tomorrow night while we're out here making noise. I'll say, all right, guys, bye-bye, everyone.
Oh, thank God that guy's leaving.
Yeah, you never talked to me for years when I'm here, but
is it warm there? Or?
Yeah, it's good to get some air. Now it's like a tropical storm out here. It's like
that's the worst.
Like fucking raining and hot and whatever. But last summer I did a lot of shows out here, but yeah, it's a decent. Well, it's too dark to really see the view. It's a dark.
Nice.
It's a dark, rainy night.
Yeah, you got to pour one out. That's a good point. Pour a beer out.
Yeah, end of an era. So what's the game? What's the TV game tomorrow? Like NBC Sports and stuff like that, or whatever.
It'll be Chelsea Arsenal.
Oh yeah. We'll probably get a doubleheader. It's one good thing you like about Canada, big man, is a lot of soccer on TV here.
Yeah, I actually have to resort to like ways to find games. Like I have a little thing that I use to get like a lot of the Sky Sports and stuff, but it's actually cool. I don't know if you know, Gabe, you've heard of ESPN Plus?
Yeah.
They actually show a lot of the, like a lot of the lower leagues, but yeah, it's tough here because they only show like a game or two on the actual TV. I actually have to go search them out and find them. But
you want to know actually something cool?
What's that?
This is this is something not everyone knows. Word on the street is Bet365 is going to be fucking in America soon.
Oh yeah, it should be because I know that
I'm saying like real soon for football, like mobile, like both. So
I hope it is. It's
I'm
great.
fucking stoked too because I'm sad I'm going to be losing it. So I'm like, oh, that's
Gabe. Good. What you can do though, you won't lose it if you just go. You can pay. There's a thing called there are plenty of them. You can get
I know, but fuck
you get a VPN. It's real easy. Like you can get a one that just masks your IP. You can get on at least place your bets.
I don't mind in some places, but I don't want to piss them off there and get caught there.
Gabe, I've been doing it forever. You won't get caught. I mean, you're not doing anything illegal. Everyone they haven't. That's why they have VPNs. They're for sale.
Good point. I'm not looking at yeah. I don't want to pay the 24% juice on fucking.
I mean, you open the account legally. You're just moving, unfortunately, and you're just masking your IP. It's no big deal.
All right, so we're on to Man City and Huddersfield. Wow, I guess we'll just lay the fucking goals here. Let me see if I throw fucking Man City into parlay with Tottenham.
I mean, you got to lay like 2.5 goals to make it. Like,
I know they're 10-1 favorites, guys. Man City are minus 1,000. The draw is plus 1,200, and Huddersfield's plus 2,500. 25-1 if you call the upset, guys, on Huddersfield. What are you saying, big man? I'm saying what 3-4-0 in this one.
Yeah, I mean, they should roll. I mean, they're at home here. I would be surprised if I'm actually, you know what I would do in this game, Gabe? I'm not taking anything sidewise. I'm going to mess around with the score, correct score. I'm going to probably do 4-0 at 8 to or 7-1.
Yeah,
I might do
4-0. Look, C-Matt in the chat is saying he thinks Huddersfield scores.
I could see that. I could see 3-1.
Yeah,
I could see like a set piece, maybe. I mean, Huddersfield have a couple good players, but they're a pretty bad side. They're probably the second worst side in the league, and they got to travel.
And then we got Man U. What's the total in Man City and Huddersfield? Actually, like the totals might be the way to go instead of
3.5.
Ah, fuck, it's minus 300.
There's no value in the game. It's very difficult to find any value.
Both teams to score is plus 150. If you think that's value, I guess.
I mean, you even look at like win to nil. It's like minus 175.
Halftime, full times minus 250.
Yeah, it's complete.
Tough to find something here.
Yeah.
And look, like I put in the parlay. Seattle Sounders minus 175. Tottenham minus 350. Man City 10-1. It adds 20 cents to your parlay. So like Seattle and Tottenham is plus 102. Now it becomes plus 122.
Yeah, let's put a parlay together here. Hold on. Let's do Everton.
Tonight when the show started, I did a parlay. I said, fuck, let's just take all the favorites in baseball. I said Arizona, Dodger, fucking parlay. Houston.
And it's winning.
Didn't know. I got the fucking other two in.
If you take Everton, Tottenham, Man City, it's plus 170. Not bad.
What do you think of the Man United? Man United, I think they should win on the road against Brighton.
There's no team I hate more than Man United. I'll tell you this. I think Brighton are better than people think.
How can you hate Man United? You're a Yankee fan.
Because I'm a Liverpool fan and I always hate Man United. But you know what's funny, Gabe?
Like the Yankees and Man U, they're even partners. You know what I mean? Like
it's interesting though. When I was a kid, the first getting into soccer, I loved Man United because they had David Beckham, Gary, Phil Neville, Paul Scholes. I loved that team back in the day when I was a kid, but I just grew to hate them. I just don't like them as a team, really. I don't like their manager, but Brighton aren't bad. I think this is an under game. I'd go under 2.5 here. I think it's a 1 or 2-0 Man United.
And we've got Crystal Palace and Liverpool.
Goals.
You'll never walk alone.
And you'll never. I would go over in this one. There'll be goals in this one. Palace are good going forward. Liverpool they score goals for fun anymore. I mean, they're good for 2 or 3 goals every game.
They're minus 225 road favorites.
I'd look towards both teams to score in the over.
Wow, it's only minus 175 the over.
Yeah, if you don't mind laying it, I would do it. I think this game flies over.
Both teams to score is minus 134.
Combined them, both teams to score over 2.5, even money.
Wow, man, we just broke down about 20 soccer matches.
I could go to League 1 and League 2 if you want. And the championship.
Yeah, you got a couple of best bets you want to throw out there?
Yeah, I'll throw out some championship bets that I'm on. Obviously, League the second level. I'm on West Bromwich Albion to beat QPR at about 1.7, so minus 135. And I'm also on. I did a Leeds United over 2.5 against Rotherham and then I took some in some of the lower leagues. I like Aston Villa as well against Ipswich Town, plus 110 there. Tough card tomorrow though in championship. I only have about 2 or 3 bets. I'll go really low if you want. League 2, which is the 4th level, Gabe. 2 little bangers for you here. I'll go with Mansfield Town against Colchester, plus 1.5 or plus 105. And I'm going to go Stevenage against Morecambe. Stevenage and Mansfield. You can maybe parlay them together if you want. Stevenage and Mansfield Town. There you go.
I don't know if you heard that car fucking.
No, I didn't. What happened?
Oh, you hear the screeching? It was fucking loud.
No, I didn't even hear it.
Yeah, good. The mic, Mike's doing his job. It's only picking up here.
Couple quick questions. Millwall Derby. I would go. Millwall doesn't lose at home. Millwall are like a fortress at home. I think that's a draw. MK Dons. I'm staying away. Crew are tough. Those are 2 that I would maybe stay away from. I like MK Dons though. They're a team I made money with. But I'm going to stay with the ones that I recommended there.
Big man on campus.
That's what we do, Gabe. Rock it out.
Who you're appearing with? Fucking Joe Lisi.
Yeah, we got Lisi and Drew Martin. Furman dropped out.
Oh, Furman's out, huh?
Furman is out. Yes. I don't know if they're adding someone. I've heard maybe they're adding someone, but I don't know if
he's on the panel with you too.
What was that?
No Ted Savransky.
No, he's on like the old guy panel.
The old guy panel,
like Mark Lawrence and Warren Sharp.
It's the serious guy, right? You're saying that the old serious?
No, they're just old.
Yeah. So what's my panel is like the misfit panel.
No, your panel is great. I actually
Capper, Morency, Kelly.
Gabe, you'll like Well Capper. I did a podcast. I did a podcast with Well Capper. He's a good guy, really good guy. Knows a lot about the NFL. I like him a lot. And Kelly and Donnie are cool. So yeah, I think you'll have a good one. Do you see who's coming? The extra edition. Did you hear about that?
Oh, Jim Fossil, right?
Yeah, Jim Fossil. The Fossil Man.
The coach. Who's he peering with? I
think he's actually on the Teddy. He's on the old guy panel. They're all like over 50, those guys.
I'm on the last panel. What time are you on? I want to make sure.
I'm on prime time. I'm right after lunch.
You're on Saturday afternoon, right?
I'm right before Whitlock and Clay.
Yeah. I'll watch you guys, and then we'll go fucking watch football.
I think it's 1:30. I'm on
Sunday at noon.
Yeah, I think you're the second to last.
Yeah, we're the last ones. Everyone's gonna be beaten down.
People be asleep.
Oh yeah, people will be leaving. I gotta go, guys. You know what it gets? I don't mind. Whatever. There was no good time for me, to be honest. Like I was like, man, whatever they give me, I was like, I don't really care as long as it's like later in the day. Like I would have preferred Saturday later in the day or something, but
I guess they wanted to separate college and then NFL.
Yeah. It's funny too because Mark Lawrence sent me an email and he was all mad. Like, Mark Lawrence never gets mad. He's like, "What the fuck?" He goes, "I thought you and I would be on a college panel together." He's like, "Why are you doing NFL? You should be doing college." Fuck. He's like, "You gave them FAU last year for fuck's sakes." Like,
I think Mark's on college too, though. They're doing like a college
yeah.
I don't know.
Mark Lawrence is funny. Like he keeps like bigging up fucking my college football future. He's like, I can't wait to see what you got, Gabe, next week. He sent me an email. He's like, NFL ? I told him I follow the NFL too, Mark. Fuck,
Yeah, that's your thing.
Like I know the NFL, so working on a couple of things. I don't want to give it away, fuck, but yeah, we're our NFL. Basically, we're going to go through every division, sort of, win totals or divisional odds, whatever. So, like, basically, Donnie's hosting. So, Donnie right side will just sort of fucking go through every division. What do you guys like in this? And Zach wants me to come up with another prop like I did last year. People really enjoyed the long field goal prop exposure.
Yeah, well, Lisi and I are going to have some fun because I heard his little stunt comment on Alabama-Louisville.
Well, he likes Louisville to win outright.
That is absolutely ridiculous. Like, that is, I'm shredding that opinion.
Yeah, you know the thing, though? Like, some people – I'm doing a TV show with Joe this year, actually.
Yeah, sure.
I'm doing a TV show. And
he always picks outright games.
I did a TV show with him last year. There's a few times I fucking rattled him on air, though. Like for real, though, I was like, dude, I was like, what are you fucking like? I can sort of get like fucking rattled. Like, are you really like, this is TV, Gabe? Like, he's not like, he's not from this school of like, he can handle some ball busting, but
he's not like you. That's fucking stupid, that opinion.
Yeah, I was like, it was the thing. He's a New Yorker, right? So he likes to say the word huge. So he's like, we got a huge game. We got a huge game with Miami versus Virginia, and he's going off, whatever. And then after, like right before the break, he's like, when we come back, he goes, we're going to break down the huge game between Wake Forest and Vanderbilt or whatever. And I said, whoa. I said, I don't want to cut you off here, Joe. But I said, let's be real. It's not a huge game. Fuck. I said, it's a shitty game. I said, the only people that care are people are betting on it. All right. It's not huge. I said, don't demean huge games.
Gabe, I've heard him talk to you.
Fucking rattled at the break, man.
I've heard him get interviewed.
I could tell him. I was like, yeah. I was just kidding.
I was just kidding. Yeah.
Like, you know,
I've heard him get interviewed by you a lot. And Gabe, I'm not kidding. Every time I've ever heard him do an interview,
he's got a wild fucking pick.
No, he always goes, you ever hear him like when you ask him how he's doing, he goes, college football this week doesn't get any better than this, Gabe. And then he gives like this crazy, like the team's a 28-point underdog. He's like, I think they can win outright this weekend. I'll go 44-41. Wait, you think they're going to win outright? Yes, I think they're going to win outright.
I love his passion for college football is great. Like he doesn't 365. That's all he cares about. This guy.
I don't think he does any other sports. I don't think
he loves it. You know what I always say though? It's like he's one of these guys that he's not a handicapper really. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's more of a analyst kind of guy.
Yeah, like he's he wants to have the Joe Lisi magazine. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's like Phil Steele.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's not and. In today's day and age, what happens now, especially with the legalized gambling, is
you got to give a gambling.
Everyone's forced to do it, dude. Right?
Yeah.
What's the pick?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you got an opinion on the text. Otherwise, it's like the Babana. What's the pick? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
what's the pick? Like everyone in the chat, they don't give a shit. What do they always ask?
Well, I think that's why people like. I think that's why people like you and me and other people. That's why I think we are somewhat popular because we'll give an opinion. Like we just went through a whole soccer card. You know, I'm not scared to give a pick, like, and neither are you. Like, you always,
I give too many picks. That's my problem. I'm not scared to get picked. To ease it up.
Yeah.
But one thing that's interesting, I was thinking about it too, big man. You brought it up because, Vegas is next week and this college football really is about to start. Is that college football win totals and NFL win totals?
I hate them.
I'm in both. I understand both sides, and I've been with you before where. It's like, man, they're holding your money. You bet an NFL win total.
It's the stupidest
I got to bet that in September, whatever.
Yeah.
Even if I win, I'm not getting paid until January.
It's the absolute
money off my interest. They're sitting on my money for 6 months, right? I'm only getting minus 110 back.
And you're not getting, you're not getting a return. You're always laying money. That's the point. Like, it's a stupid bet. You can just bet them per game and make way more money. The only way I would do it, Gabe, and some bets, like some books will let you do it. If you can parlay them together,
yeah,
I'd consider that.
Okay, but what about college then?
No, I don't do it.
What about college, in which I think it's different, big man. And listen, you're talking right now, and me to one of the most impatient motherfuckers out there, right?
Yeah.
So, but at the same point in time, like the NFL is 17 weeks. It takes forever, fuck. College football is not that long. You bet a college win total in September. You're getting paid at the fucking end of November. It's not that bad. It's 3 months only.
Yeah, but I guess I have to look at it like this. If let's say, Gabe, would you do this if I asked you? If I said to you, hey, listen, give me $100 and 50-50, you might get it back in 4 months, and it's going to be the same amount. Now, if I say to you, hey, listen, you can bet this team to win. You can bet something to win the conference, and I'll give you back 4-1. Wouldn't you much rather do that? You know,
Yeah.
like if you're high on a team, you bet them to win a conference. I mean, I just can't understand.
I put it this way. I brought this up last night with Clemson.
Right.
You know college football, so
take them to win the whole thing.
I don't think fucking Clemson. They might not lose a game, big man.
No. They're not.
The ACC's a little down this year. Their defense is fucking suffocating.
Their schedule's a mess. It's shit.
Yeah, like they don't even have back-to-back road games. Like Clemson, it'll be a miracle if they don't go 11-1, and they probably go 12-0. Yeah. So we talked about it last night. The Clemson win total is 11. So basically, if they stumble once, you get a push, and it's -110. I looked, I'm like, what are they going to make the playoff? They're -125. They're going to make the playoff.
Here's the only way I would do
bet at -125.
The only way I would do that bet.
Take a quick leak, but I can hear you here.
The only way I would do that bet is if I had a lot of money. I had hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I could bet decent enough amounts where, I could take shots like that. But some of these people will literally sit and like go down over every win total and like bet them. It's like you're laying 140, 120 on fucking win totals. It's stupid. I'd much rather just debate it and put it in put a future in. Yeah, I'm not doubling my money in 4 months. I could bet every game and double it in a week. Why would I wait 4 months to double my money? I'm doubling my money in 4 months? I could double it in a week. I could double one game. And I've already made that money that I would have had sitting for 4 or 5 months. Win totals are fucking stupid. I would never do them. You want my opinion on them? I'll gladly give it, but I'm never betting them.
But then you get into long-term investment like Grinch is stating. You go to Wall Street on the stock market, and if you were a stockbroker and you fucking told someone, come back in 12 weeks and we're going to fucking double your money. Come back in 12 weeks. You'd be the fucking wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, but it's not. Listen, the only guaranteed return is a fucking savings account. If you want one, go get one. You're not guaranteed to win the bet, though, Gabe. That's the thing. You're not getting a better. If I bet the game per week or bet a future, it's the same probability of happening.
Yeah, but they don't cover every week. That's when it gets to that.
You're right, but they're also
a team wins like 10 games, and you're like, oh fuck, I didn't bet the over, and they didn't cover, right?
Yeah, but you're literally betting on possibly, like second stringers in the last game. Shit like now, Gabe. Listen, here's what I will do. I'll do shit like I did last year. Like, will a team lose every game in the NFL?
Yeah,
shit like that, where I'm getting 12-1, 13-1.
I hear what you're saying. Like, I
just don't see the point.
Me too. Like when I look at baseball, like to me, the baseball total is the most ridiculous one because it's fucking 6 months, right?
Sure.
If you're betting a baseball win total, I'd rather look and say, all right, fuck, at least give me fucking, like you said, at least give me plus 350 to win a division. Because if they're going to win 90 games, then they're going to win a division, right?
Exactly. Well, if you think a team can win 10 games and you're betting an over 10.5, why not just bet them to win their conference or get to the playoff or something? If you have a lot of money, win totals are fine. Like if you have $100,000, your unit is $500 a game, then do it. But
yeah, you're right. If you gave me like $5 million,
sure, then I would
sustain it pretty much for life by safe bets like that. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Like I would take exactly if I had money, I'd say, all right, listen, fuck, we'll put $500K on fucking on the Mayweather to beat McGregor. We'll get back fucking 650. Fuck, there's 150K. Fuck, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like you can grind it out. I hear what you're saying. I've never been a big future guy because I am impatient, right? And it's pissed me off because there's been times where I've been right and I didn't get it. And I'm like, holy fuck, I could have fucking nailed that for fucking 28-1, and I was too impatient.
To me, an investment is I can make a bet at the beginning of a season, and I'm getting a very good return back on it. Like I'm getting even money. I'm good.
I'm looking. Bet365 will not let you parlay who's going to win conferences.
I think 5 dimes will.
Looking at the conference odds here, I went through to make the playoff odds last night, and they're all pretty sharp. Fucked. You know, they're not giving money away with this shit. I said last night my playoff, if you ask me right now, big man, and I'll do an official one next week in Vegas. But if you ask me my playoff, I'd go Clemson.
Agreed.
Michigan.
Agreed.
Washington.
Agreed.
So we're on 3 for 3. We agree.
I don't think you'll get.
I think one. You know what? I'm not so sure Alabama makes it back this year.
No, I'd agree.
But the thing is Georgia going to make it back? I'm not so sure either.
I think
so who's that fourth team then?
I think it's Georgia. To me, I would say it's Georgia. It's either Georgia or Alabama, probably to me. I don't think that.
Thing is, Alabama's been in all 4 college football playoffs, so it's hard to fucking discount them.
Sure, and they're always the best team. But I think the SEC is tough this year. I think there's a lot of good teams in that conference. I think Missouri are improved. I think Florida's a good football team. I think Mississippi State is solid. South Carolina's up and coming. You know, there's a lot of good teams down there this year.
Yeah, there is. There is.
I would say Georgia would be my 4th team.
Alabama's minus 250 to make the playoffs.
That is
a ridiculously stupid bet.
But people will make that bet.
Clemson are minus 125.
But I could
think that's a bad bet.
But see, instead of making the playoff, I can take them 6-1 or 7-1 to win the whole thing.
All right, so you're right there. That's a good point.
Because they're going to make the final too.
Oh, you're right. So they make it, then you make it to the final, and you can hedge and get plus 350 out of it or something. You're right, because it'd be a pick on whoever they play.
And you might even get plus money because they might be a favorite.
Ohio State are plus 140. The Urban Meyer shit's supposed to be decided this weekend. You know they're going to fire him.
You know he's not going anywhere.
They're not going to fire him.
No. I'll tell you a person that should never coach another football game again is DJ Durkin.
I agree. I've been bitching
He
about
should
that.
never.
He's lucky he doesn't get charged with manslaughter, in my opinion.
I agree.
Then you got Will Muskamp. What an asshole. Like he comes out, Will Muskamp. He's like, oh, DJ Durkin, I know him. He's a good coach. And then he starts going. He goes, there's disgruntled kids on every team in the country. And he goes, all these sources and these kids complaining. They're just upset because they're not starters.
It's not about that.
And it's like, dude, like Will Muskamp, it shows out of touch he is. Like, you know, someone's son died on the field.
It has nothing to do with that either.
Like, he's just a prick. Like, dude, I can't believe they got to fire this guy. Like, they got to fire everyone.
No, he should never coach.
I'll tell you, the strength and conditioning coach, you know, they should seriously look at whether he should be charged or not as well.
Well, Gabe, listen, he stepped down and they're still going to pay him. Someone died in his fucking care.
And it's not the case, guys, where it was like, oh, a player just suddenly collapsed on the field. This player was like, he was a bigger player, and they were humiliating him. They were making him run. They made him run the field back and forth 11 times in a row. So
his body temperature
yards. And players on the team were saying to the coaches, yo, fuck, he's not well, fuck. And he was flailing around. He had a seizure. They yelled at him, get up, you fucking pussy, and fucking, they called him all kinds of fucking derogatory other names that I'm not even going to repeat. And the kid ran and he died, fuck. And then after, they're like, well, I guess he's not tough enough for the Maryland Terrapins. Yeah, you pieces of shit. You're a shitty fucking
who by the way,
coach, fuck.
Who, by the way, only won 4 games last year.
Yeah, DJ Durkin and company. They go.
Let me ask you a question, Gabe. What does it say about their training staff that they couldn't revive the fucking kid? They just let him die?
Yeah. Well, what does it say? I don't blame the trainer. I won't blame their medical staff. I'll blame the coach for making the kid that ill that they couldn't save the kid.
I mean, could you imagine
Like, listen, there's stories and it happens. Listen, I played hockey and shit. I threw up and shit. It's happened where our coaches would skate us and people would throw up sometimes. You know, that's not cool nowadays. People wouldn't think that's cool, but there's a difference between a hard practice and killing a kid.
But if you said, "Hey, coach, you know, I'm like I'm really not like I'm not trying to be a baby or anything, but I'm just not like this is too much for me. Like a coach needs to know when it's too much, you know. But what does this say to the parents that you went into their kitchen? I heard the father talking about. He sat in our kitchen and told us, "We're going to take care of your son at Maryland."
Yeah.
I mean, what does that say to every other person that goes to Maryland?
And then you saw too what the kids are saying, how the fucking coaches talk to them and shit, the words they use. It's crazy. Yeah, Dirk, like I said, they're lucky they're not locked up, man. But look, it's insane. They don't protect it, dude. From protecting the fucking pedophiles at Michigan State, at Penn State, the cover-ups, Ohio State, the wrestling, their coaches are beating women up, kids are dying, and then instead of like being upset, other coaches stand up and basically say that kids are pussies nowadays. Oh, in my day practices, it's bullshit. There was no day like that. These guys are just nut jobs. They're failures. DJ Durkin's a failure. Fuck. That's why you're at Maryland. You're a failure. You're a fucking nobody. And Vince Lombardi is one of the greatest coached ever. He didn't do that. Fuck. Vince Lombardi used to make jokes and like coach through humor.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's
like, oh, Nick Saban's an asshole. No, he isn't. Nick Saban's a funny guy with the players. He cracks jokes. He's just a hard ass with the media. And yeah, Saban runs a crisp practice, but you ever heard a story of a player collapsing at Alabama? No.
Telling a kid,
anyone in the NFL, any Alabama player after say, fuck Alabama, fuck Saban. No one ever says that. They're all like, yeah, it was tough, but he just wants to win.
It's lazy coaching, making a kid run. That's lazy coaching.
Exactly.
That's I don't want to do anything. So we'll just
military type of shit. Let's run him in the ground, you fucking maggot.
How does that improve your football team?
That's not me knowing how to relate to people. It's just, it's military style bullshit. And even the military's not like that.
No. The only people that do that are Navy SEALs. Okay. And they're like the highest form of military. It doesn't improve your football team.
Yeah. And the Navy SEALs are being trained to be killers. They're not being trained to block the Michigan DB. Right. You know what I mean?
And they also are like, that's the highest esteemed military thing you can be. You know? Did you hear the latest news on that Zach Smith?
No, who's Zach Smith? Who? What?
That guy, that Ohio State coach, the one
the wide receiver coach. Yeah.
Listen to this. Fired assistant coach Zach Smith. This is new developments. Set a picture of his penis from a White House bathroom, among other locales, and had more than $2,000 worth of erotic toys, apparel, and photo equipment sent to his office in 2015. They cited a report that in 2015, the same date he was at the White House, where his penis could be seen alongside a towel that had the seal of the President of the United States.
So they won the championship and he went and flashed his dick at the White House.
Courtney Smith, his wife, told Stadium that he took multiple photos of his penis and photographed himself receiving oral sex with an OSU staffer.
They got to let him go. Fuck. They got to let her.
What a fucking creep.
Buddy's been with Urban for 15 years. Like, he's took him along from Florida. They're not going to do it, but they should. And that's what we're talking about. It's like the protection. It's like the protection of that racket in which somehow the sport is bigger than the corruption. It's almost like the church. Like in Pennsylvania, you see like, oh, yeah, 300 kids were molested, but we can't do anything about it. And like, why can't you? Like, why? I don't know why they covered up then in the first place.
Gabe, you got to look at the reporting in these articles. Friday's report by Stadium also paints a more troubling picture of his tenure. Intercepted was an Amazon shipment notification reading, "Hello, Zach Smith. Thank you for shopping with us. You ordered almost naked dare thong and 4 other items." I mean, that's reporting, ain't it? Wow.
Yeah, that's why I was talking earlier, why you can't fix games now. Everyone knows everything. You're a coach, you can't even order a dildo. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just so evil. Like, and it's crazy too. And look who are the best coaches in sports.
Yep.
Look at Steve Kerr. Great guy. You know what I mean?
He doesn't do any of that stuff, does he?
No. Like, great guy. It's this old school Bobby Knight shit, sort of.
Yep.
And maybe it worked in the 50s and you can intimidate people, but it doesn't work now.
Listen, I don't have a problem with being, an authoritative figure as a coach, but I mean, I don't understand why, how that's effective, like any of that stuff. Like I said to my trainer today, Gabe. Now my fucking trainer, I say to him, now I literally did, Gabe. I'm not kidding. I did 90. I did 3 sets of 30 reps of laying on my back with a medicine ball. He would throw me the ball and I'd have to throw it up like 6 feet in the air. I did 90 of those. This fucking guy, he says, all right, let's do 10 more. I said, motherfucker, no, I'm not doing no more. It's like these motherfuckers think I'm not a fucking bodybuilder, bro.
He wants to get to 100.
I mean, fucking hell. Like, these fuckers think you're like a fucking He-Man, for Christ's sakes. And I didn't do the 10. I did 90. I'm not doing fucking 10 more. Fuck off. It's like brutal.
Yeah. See, you couldn't play for DJ Durkin.
Fuck DJ Durkin. I would tell the coach, hey, coach, this is lazy fucking coaching. Why don't you act like a real fucking coach and we do something serious? You think NFL people do this? You think NFL players run? Fuck no.
No, no.
These are all high-level athletes.
Leonard
Even in college.
and even our boy Ed Orgeron, who's a laid-back guy.
Yeah.
Leonard Fournette says that the Jacksonville Jaguar, Doug Marone's practices are easier than LSU's practices.
I mean, these are high-level D1 athletes.
Doug Marone's not like a joke comedian. Like, Doug Marone's a pretty serious guy. Tom Coughlin's the GM. Like, the Jags are a pretty serious organization of pretty we're going to work hard and shit. And Leonard Fournette's like, oh, this is a joke. And it's just, the thing is, and exactly, like Brian, and then you get the announcers. All right, and then they come on, and what's up, Jan Reports? You're like Jan Reports, big man. He's the play-by-play guy for Chicago State basketball.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Damn, were you at that Northwestern game, Jan Reports? Didn't they had 8 points, I think, at one point in the second half?
So, the protection. So look at Brian Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Kelly, they fucking killed a kid, man. Like, the kid goes up there and in practice to film the practice from this fucking crane thing. They fucking told him it's fucking dangerous up there. It's gonna blow over. Fucking Kelly, the kid wanted to impress the team and shit. And I'm tough. I'll go up there. Fucking kid dies. Fuck. Kelly didn't give a shit after. You know what I mean? He really didn't. And Notre Dame actually fought the lawsuit. They didn't want to fucking pay the labor board. The state of Indiana rolled over. They fined Notre Dame $9,000. The kid died. There was no apathy whatsoever from Notre Dame. Sympathy, whatever. Nothing but apathy. So what do? They go to the Sun Bowl, big man. Fucking practice. Brian Kelly does it again. Fuck. He sends a kid up in the same crane, and it was windy as fuck. And they told him, never do that again. He did again. He doesn't care. Like you said, these guys are supposed to take care of kids. They don't give a shit.
Can you explain something?
Art Briles. Art Briles has a daughter, all right?
Yeah.
And he has a few daughters. So Art Briles has no problem recruiting the type of players that'll rape your daughter, but he doesn't want his daughter around these players.
No, of course.
Does Urban Meyer trust his daughter or his players around his kids? Probably not. No. Right? But he doesn't mind having the kids around your kids on campus.
Sure.
They're predators. There's no lower form than a college coach. It's just, that's what it is. At least the basketball guys, they're not as bad. They're just sort of crooked and doing shoe deals.
No, most of the basketball guys are good. But let me ask you, if you're at the Sun Bowl, why can't the kid just go up into the stands and film?
Good point.
Why does he have to be in a fucking crane?
I know. You need the angle, fuck.
Oh, yeah, you need to be over bird's eye view? What? Get a fucking drone. You ever have a drone?
They're fucking assholes. That's what it comes down to.
And the video guy will do it. He's like, oh, fucking Brian Kelly. I can't disappoint him.
No, exactly. The kid dies.
Crazy world, man.
I look forward to it next week, actually. We'll have the debate in Vegas with some of the other guys there about win totals and how to, whether it's good or it isn't. Fuck.
Yeah. No, it's a good talking point.
And speaking of which, NFL, My boy Josh Allen looked pretty motherfucking good tonight. Like real good.
I don't want to admit it.
Real good. I don't know if you saw what he did, but very
No, he did.
impressive.
He did. Listen,
He looked good last week. He's looked better than Sam Darnold has. Just Sam Darnold plays for the Jets, and ESPN's up his fucking ass. But
I wonder.
AJ McCarron fractures his collarbone.
Well, Allen's good to go then.
So now it's Josh Allen and Nate Peterman. And, Nate Peterman looks pretty good, actually. Okay, but suddenly Josh Allen might be the starting quarterback of the Bills. Fuck.
How many wins do you think the Bills get? 5 or 6?
No.
Lower?
You're underestimating them.
No, they're a pretty bad team offensively. But then again, Shady seems good to go, and maybe
you're underestimating them, big.
I think their defense is solid, though. So I think.
Okay, look, their win total is 6. That's what it is in Vegas. Let me check offshore here.
I feel like that's a pretty good number for them.
They won 9 games last year.
Right.
So you're telling me why? It's 6.5 at Bet365 plus 135 to the over, but it's 6 in Vegas. So I'll just ask you, and you explain to me, why do you think they're 3 games worse now because they don't have Tyrod Taylor? Is Tyrod Taylor a 3-game loss, do you think?
Well, I guess for me, I'm just kind of looking at from their schedule. I think hypothetically could start out the season 0-6. Seriously. I mean, they have a pretty tough schedule.
The schedule is tough.
I don't think they can win a game until the 21st, and that's a road game. Then you got to play the Patriots. That's an automatic loss. I mean, there's some winnable games. They'll beat the Bears. I think they could beat the Jets, maybe even twice. But I mean, it's not out of the question to think, Gabe, that
Chargers in week 2.
That's possible at home. But the Ravens,
they could beat the Ravens in this game.
I think the Titans are pretty underrated. I think Texans are solid. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising to me. And I look at their first 6 games.
Bills, it's almost cruel and unusual punishment that the motherfuckers have to go to Minnesota and Green Bay and back.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Torturous.
I think I just looked at it as I think they could hypothetically start out 1-7. That wouldn't surprise me. Now, if they can get.
I know. It closes out softer, but you're right. I'm not upset by it.
Because Gabe, you look at it like this. Let's say they start out 1-7. Okay, let's say they beat the Bears. That's 2 wins. Say they beat the Jets 1 out of 2. That's 3 wins. They're not going to beat Jacksonville. They're not going to beat the Patriots. They play them twice. I don't think they beat them either time. I think they're a 5 or 6 win team, and it really depends how good the Dolphins are. I think the Dolphins could go 1 of 2 ways. I think Tannehill, if he could be good, I think they're a pretty solid football team. Can the Jets be better? I mean, I've fucking heard people say the Jets can win 9 games, which is just fucking ridiculous.
Fucking insanity.
No, they're fucking shit. Their roster's terrible.
Yeah, they're the people who are the Jets. The Jets have the exact same win total as the Bills, 6.5 plus 135.
It's not so much the Bills that don't like their team. I just worry about their schedule. They have to. First 8 games is tough, man.
Yeah, it is tough. They open up at Baltimore, then they host the LA Chargers.
And you mentioned the Vikings, the Packers back to back.
They go to Green Bay. Ugh. Then they got to host Tennessee. Then there's no fucking favor. They got to go to Houston the next week.
That's where I
Bills at Colts, Patriots at Bills. It doesn't ease up until November. And then they get the Chicago Bears at Buffalo, Bills at Jets, Jaguars at Bills, Bills at Dolphins, Jets at Bills, Lions at Bills, Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, Bills. Listen, if it's 6 in Vegas, 6, even 6, if they can fucking have 3, if they can be 3-5, we sail over. Fuck.
I mean, you got to remember also. Plus,
they were a playoff team last year. Their defense is good. Trey White is one of the best defensive backs in the league. Harrison Phillips is a great draft pick. They have a very good defense. They're not as bad as people think. But
no, I don't think from a perspective of their team is not bad, but unfortunately you have a tough schedule, and also the only thing you can ever do in that division is the best you can do is 4-2. You're never going to go 5-1 or 6-0 because you're going to lose 2 games automatically. And going 4-2 is difficult because the Dolphins will be okay. The Jets maybe can sneak a win. So you're kind of behind the 8 ball. I just think the schedule is too tough at the beginning. But
It is tough. I'm not.
And I could be wrong. The Chargers, maybe they could get that one, or they could beat the Titans or something. But it's tough. I mean, they got to go to Indy. I mean, if Andrew Luck's playing well, I mean, is that a guarantee? They could hypothetically start 0-8. I mean, it's very possible.
You know what it is? It sets up nicer for next year in a sense. You're right. It's like college football where you almost have to bite the bullet in the sense that, as you stated, the two fucking divisions that they play of all fucking divisions.
Yeah.
The AFC South is loaded this year.
Exactly.
Suddenly, that used to be the worst division of football. And suddenly it's no joke. Like Tennessee Titans are no joke. Jacksonville's no joke. Andrew Luck's back. You got Deshaun fucking Watson on the Houston Texans. All four of them.
The best division in the league.
To me, I think the best division in the league is the NFC South.
True.
Panthers, Falcons.
Yeah.
The Bucks suck.
I think they're kind of similar because the Bucks are bad and the Colts are pretty poor. But at least the Colts have luck, It's like, what do you have at a fucking Winston?
I know. And maybe Andrew Luck is that good that he just maybe the Colts are good again because he's there.
I mean, they can't do
the star quarterback.
They can't do much worse. I mean, they're pretty horrendous. But you look at their team, Gabe. I mean, from top to bottom, there is not a lot to like on this team. I mean, they have little to nothing in the run game.
It's true what Seabat's saying, too. Even the Bills. Last year, everyone loves the Jags this, Jags that. I see fucking people are saying the Jags are going to the Super Bowl this year.
I like the Titans a bit and Houston.
I want to buy into Houston. I'm worried that Deshaun gets hurt and it's just over. And I question Bill O'Brien being aggressive enough and not fucking it up. But you're right. Somebody's got to fucking
I'm telling you, watch out for Tennessee. That defense is all of a sudden pretty good.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel's I think he's a good hire. He's good. Dude, Mike Mularkey, I got to take a quick leak here, but Mike Mularkey was one of the worst coaches in the league.
No, I know. It's such a big advantage having him gone now.
I see a 7.5 Tennessee. This is a big year for Marcus Mariota. He's good. He's got to become very good, though.
They've really lucked out on some of their late round picks. I mean, they went out and got, Tajay Sharp. He's been a good player for them at UMass. They went out and got Jonnu Smith at FIU. He's been very good. They've done some good things on their offensive line. Their secondary, all of a sudden, they got Logan Ryan, Malcolm Butler. They drafted Adoree Jackson, Kenny Vaccaro, Kevin Byard. I mean, those are pretty good safeties. They also drafted Harold Landry, edge rusher. He's going to do some good things for them. Yeah, they went out and got Rashaan Evans as well. Sharif Finch, a left outside linebacker who can rush the passer. This is a nice little football team. If Davis can stay healthy, I like Tennessee.
I'll tell you what. Corey Davis is going to fucking bust loose this year.
He's got to get in there and stay healthy. But
Mariota, 2 touchdowns in that playoff game.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's had a nice camp. He's going to take this next step. I'm telling you guys, from a fantasy perspective, too. Corey Davis, keep an eye on him. Look, Mariota's good. Now I think the offense could be a little smoother. DeMarco Murray's out. Derrick Henry's in. You bring on Dion Lewis.
Yeah, but losing Murray's great. Get him.
They've got great skill position players. They've got talent all around. Like, they're a good football team.
Yep.
Their win total's a little low at 7.5, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they can get there.
Yeah, I like this team. I think they're getting rid of that Mularkey idiot was the best. That's a big get for them.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel should do a good job. Dion Lewis, nice pickup there.
Yep.
Casey, what's up, Casey? Good to see you. Thanks for the kind words, Casey, on Twitter. I want to send you a tweet there. Good to see you, Casey. According to Warren Sharp, Houston has the easiest schedule this year, huh?
Yeah.
One thing, yeah. And Warren Sharp's a smart guy, too. Warren Sharp is aware, guys. Like, oftentimes when people talk about strength of schedule, they look at last year's records. And you can't really gauge by that. You have to look at this year's win totals. But it's a pain in the ass to add up on the win totals.
Yep.
So I'm glad that Warren Sharp did it for people.
Another underrated pickup they made, Gabe. I think Malcolm Butler will be a good player for Tennessee. I think he's got a little bit to prove. I mean, after that benching in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
I saw people were posting a GIF of fucking Butler video of him getting scorched in practice the other day, but
Everybody gets scorched once in a while.
exact practice. Fuck. Cody, my man, Cody AV was asking any preseason picks for tomorrow. Looking, what do we got? Let me see the times of the games. Oh, we'll let Big Man go, and I'll go over that before we wrap it up here tonight.
Sounds good, Gabe. I'll be listening in. Thanks, man.
Okay, Big Man. So yeah, tomorrow night, end of an era here to be last.
Let me know. I'll be around.
We watch some MLS soccer. Good stuff. Thanks for the time, Big Man.
Sounds fun. Talk to you, buddy.
Thank you, Lucas. The Vikings are a good team. What's his name? Mike Zimmer's the best coach in the NFL against the point spread. Well, whatever. Belichick has these, big years against the spread sometimes, but every year that Zimmer's been a head coach in the league, he's never had a losing record against the spread. It's pretty crazy. But now the Vikings are going to be a little bit overvalued because Kirk Cousins is there. So I didn't do my research yet for tomorrow's preseason games, Cody. I know you're a Patreon, so I'll be posting them. You know what? We're doing okay in the preseason. We're not doing bad. You know what I mean? We're not doing great, though. It's like we're winning, we're losing. Thing to save me tonight is I put more money on the Chief game than the other games. All right, so what do we got here? Fuck, there's a lot of games tomorrow. We got the Jags and the Vikings. So isn't Jalen Ramsey suspended for this game? I don't know the quarterback rotations, and normally I do, so I will for tomorrow. Now, this next game, though, the Raiders and the Rams. Raiders and the Rams tomorrow. They play at 4 o'clock Eastern time on the NFL Network. The Jags-Vikings are at 1 o'clock on the NFL Network. So the Raiders and Rams play. 4 o'clock Eastern means it's going to be 1 o'clock in LA tomorrow for this game. Saturday afternoon, these two teams are playing again in like 17 days or whatever. They play like in week 1 on Monday Night Football. It's kind of stupid they're playing each other right now. I think they've scrimmaged against each other too this week. So I wouldn't expect much in this game. You notice too, like tonight, a lot of NFL games went under the number. They were soaring out of the gate. They made these higher totals. It's 38.5 here. I don't think it gets there. John Gruden, we know Chuck, man. Chucky's old school. Fuck. The guy's showing them tape from 1976, for fuck's sake. So Gruden's old school, man. Gruden's going to be like, are you crazy? Fuck, I'm not showing these guys anything. Like, you got to think like they do, right? So what's Gruden going to be thinking? Gruden's like, I'm not showing them my fucking trick. You know what I mean? I'm playing these guys in 2 weeks, fuck, for real, on my first game on Monday Night Football. The Rams are just prepping for the regular season. They're going through the motions here. I'll take a chance, fuck. I'll go under 38.5 there. It's going to be a Captain Vanilla fucking. It's going to be a Dairy Queen soft serve vanilla. Nice and plain, fuck. The Mormon special. No offense to any Mormons tuning in. I have nothing. I lived in Vegas. I partied with Mormons even. But I'm just saying, it's like you get taken to Dairy Queen as a kid or something, and they're like, no sprinkles, no chocolate. You have to get the vanilla ice cream, soft serve vanilla in a cup, fuck, not even a cone. That's what this game's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be a cup of vanilla ice cream in a fucking plastic cup, fuck. No waffle cone, no sprinkles. Yeah, Matthias is right. Good call, Matthias. Good to see you, bro. Yeah. Good call, Matthias. That's the best bet. There will be fights in the stands. Raider fan going into their old turf, their old stadium. Man, that's the thing with LA football. It just changes all the time. Same fucking, you know what I mean? I lived in LA and I used to go to the games, and the Raiders were in that stadium. Now the Rams are in that stadium. Fuck. Now the Raiders are going to come in there. Like, it's just a merry-go-round. Oh, here's Casey. And try being not a Mormon. That's it, Casey. See, in Vegas, Casey, the Mormons, they're not as hardcore. Like Utah's hardcore. Like Vegas Mormons, they're more laid back and they gamble and shit. I did a show on Fox Sports Radio in Vegas, and half the station were Mormons. I didn't realize, you know. I'd be in like the fucking kitchen area sitting there before the show, and I'd be talking to salespeople, and they'd be like, oh, you know, since I'm Mormon, I'd be like, oh, you're Mormon. I'd say, they'd be like, yeah, you didn't know. And I was like, well, you don't really seem like a Mormon. They'd laugh. They'd be like, well, what do you think? The guy's smoking a cigarette outside, he's all stressed. I said, I don't know. I just sort of picture like Mitt Romney. Fuck. Exactly, Lord Gugu. You know, exactly. It's like the religious Bible Belt chicks are the best too. I agree with you, Kyle. The 49ers way overrated. You know, it's funny, Lord Gugu. It's true. You know, in the United States, what state has the biggest opiate problem and like the most arrests and shit, the biggest drug problem? Utah. They have no alcohol, fuck. They're all uptight, straight, Mormons and shit. And what happens? You got all these soccer moms and Mormon moms. Everyone's popping pills, fuck. Some chick's like one of 6 wives. She's all hooked on barbiturates and shit. I saw a thing, man. They were saying in Utah, the most imprisoned people in Utah right now are like women. And basically, I saw this sheriff guy, and he said, at this rate, he goes, we would need to build like 10 new prisons to fucking house all these women. And it's like all pill problems, like drug arrest, then theft because of the drugs and blah, blah, blah. All out of Utah, fuck. You know, and it's funny because the government and the media will pick on like, you know, Atlanta or like, oh, look at Baltimore. It's a fucking hellhole because there's minorities there. It's like, yeah, well, I don't know. Your little fucking white fucking Utah is the one popping all the pills. But you noticed before, like when crack cocaine was an epidemic and whatever, the government created crack cocaine and flooded the streets of LA through the real Rick Ross with crack cocaine to fucking sell drugs to the fucking rebels and guns and shit. So they created crack cocaine to destroy the inner city and make money. Then they turn around and they make the charges worse for crack than cocaine, even though it's the exact same fucking drug. So they make the fucking the charges worse. And then they imprison fucking everyone. Thanks, Bill Clinton. You think Trump's an asshole? Well, Bill Clinton was no nice guy either. Fuck, sticking fucking cigars up fucking teenagers, fucking twats, imprison Black America. So my point is, which I have one. My point is, so you notice like when it was crack cocaine and coke and stuff, you know, they imprison people. You notice now, even Republicans and the government, they're like, oh, it's so terrible, these opiates, and all these people are on pills, and oh, we have to give them funding. We can't put them in jail. They need rehab. Well, so I don't know. You didn't say the same thing about Laquan, fuck, when he got caught with a rock, did you? No, you didn't, fuck. Now suddenly it's fucking Betty in Utah, fucking white as the snow, and suddenly you have a drug epidemic. Before, it was a war on drugs. Now it's an epidemic. Like, they're fucking hypocrites, right? I always laugh now when I see these people. You know, we need funding, and these Republican governors, we need funding for opiates, and in my state, all these women are doing drugs, and oh my God, this poor kid and his son died. It's like, you fuck, how many black people's son died? Fuck, you guys imprison them after, fuck. Like, you know, what, now suddenly you're Mr. Compassion? Come on. Come on. But Big Pharma runs shit, man. The little dirty secret is they don't want you off the pills. You know who the #1 lobbyist against marijuana legalization was in the United States? Anheuser-Busch. And in Canada, it was Molson Coors. And now Molson Coors in Canada are going to fucking sell marijuana beer. Fuck these cocksuckers. You guys spent tens of millions of dollars lobbying against this. So it's amazing. People that create drunk drivers and fucking wife beaters and so much carnage. Alcohol is one of the worst things in the world. And you guys fucking worked against the plant. But now that the plant's legal, you want in on it. It's you know, the level of hypocrisy. And as well as in every state that marijuana has been legalized, opiate use has gone down. In the state of Denver and Colorado, not in the city of Denver and in the state of Colorado, it went down like 40%. Fuck. Drinking goes down. So they fight it, right? Big Pharma's not going anywhere. You know, look at Anthony Bourdain. Anthony Bourdain killed himself, whatever, fuck. He was also popping Chantix to stop smoking. One of the side effects of Chantix is suicide. Now, I don't know. I'm not saying that Anthony Bourdain didn't have problems, but it was never discussed. Like Anderson Cooper likes to keep them honest on CNN, fuck, right? Anderson Cooper likes to keep them honest on CNN, but it was never discussed. He never brought it up once. They talked about depression and all call a hotline on CNN and all the news. They all did that. If you're feeling lonely, call a friend. And, you know, if you're worried about someone, call a suicide hotline. And I was thinking, yeah, I don't know. Or stop fucking doing all these pills that are making people kill themselves every day. Chris Cornell, a Soundgarden and Audio Slave, didn't kill himself because he was fucking depressed. It was a toxic cocktail. Right? Same bullshit. The guy in Lincoln Park was all pilled up. Fuck. It's all pills, 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 pills. And then they always just blame depression. Fuck. Bell, let's talk. Fuck. I don't know. Let's talk about your fucking pills instead of your fucking depression. Fuck. All right? You have depressed people and you're giving them pills. You're making them more depressed and they're killing themselves. It's not rocket science. So why doesn't Anderson Cooper? Now, Anderson Cooper's a good guy. Anderson Cooper's a good journalist. But the thing with journalists is they only cover things that that don't hurt them. So Big Pharma is aware of this, right? And what Big Pharma did, it was pretty smart of them, is they basically became the #1 sponsors of all cable news shows. You can't watch Fox News, MSNBC, or CNN without a fucking Chantrix ad. Like Anderson Cooper talked about how sad it was that Anthony Bourdain killed himself and was nearly crying and then went to a Chantrix ad. Never said that, oh, by the way, Chantrix fucking makes people want to kill themselves. Why? Because Chantrix is one of CNN's biggest sponsors. Big Pharma runs cable news, fuck. So there'll never be an expose about how evil they are. Joe Manchin is they put that Martin Shkreli guy in jail because he's a fucking scumbag. But the fact is, Joe Manchin's daughter is the one that owns the EpiPen. Joe Manchin is a fucking Democratic senator from West Virginia. Joe Manchin fucking protects his daughter. Donald Trump actually too. They wanted to vote to lower the fucking cost of like fucking this shit, and Trump wouldn't allow the vote. Joe Manchin's a Democrat. He doesn't want it either. Like, they're all in bed together, guys. It's not red and blue is fucking merge, motherfuckers. You're all fucking fools if you think otherwise. They're all playing golf at the same country club, motherfucker. You can run around with your fucking Make America hat great again or your fucking Hillary fucking flag. You're both fucking praying to the same fucking satanic fucking throne. So there's always going to be a level of hypocrisy and cover up, right? And, it's the same thing in college sports and athletics. The institution is bigger. It's like the church. It's like, yeah, whatever. We're molesting kids and kids are dying and girls are getting raped. But hey, how about them ratings on ABC every Saturday afternoon? I don't know how we went from the Raiders and the Rams to that. I had another very, very good point I wanted to get to, but too much on my mind. Cincinnati Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys. I was on the Cowboys in week 1, actually. I would lead with the Cowboys here at home, -3. San Francisco at Houston. I don't know. I got to look at the quarterback rotations. Tampa Bay are terrible. They should lose. Regular season, preseason, doesn't matter. Chicago Bears are 0-2. They're going into Denver. Denver looked shit last week. I'm not going to force anything now for you, but I'll tell you my one NFL pick tomorrow so far will be the under in the Raiders and the Rams, under 38.5. Yeah, I wish I had one more point. Thank you, Ryan. I had one more good point, actually. It was fucking smart, too, about something, but I just don't fucking know what it was. There was something about the hypocrisy of something in someone. I get in on Wednesday night, Casey. Late Wednesday night. I'll be there till Sunday. Oh, that was one last thing too. The irony of that, right? The Anheuser-Busch is the they're the ones against it the most. And it's funny too, like who is the #1 fucking proponent of online betting and shit and legalized sports betting in other states? Sheldon Adelson, who owns casinos and has made all of his money from the Sands Corp. Yet he didn't want people betting in New Jersey because he wasn't going to run it. It's never about morals, It's always just about who controls shit. IFBC is free, Matt Lawrence. The conferences are all free. What's up, Spencer S? Kyle Hamburg, send you a limo, When do you get in, Hamburg? Friday morning, huh? Yeah. I've always wanted a limo waiting for me with my name when I get to Vegas. I remember me and Cam were talking about that. Like, it was like, man, that would be great if we had a limo with our names waiting for us. We got to Vegas. I remember Frank Trigg, the fighter, told me, he goes, wow, you can always just fucking, I don't get a limo and pay for it. I was like, yeah. One thing I will tell you guys. One thing I will tell you guys is the Golden Nugget's actually pretty far from the airport. Now, the taxis in Vegas, they're not that bad. They're not that expensive, like from the airport even to there, but it'll be pretty pricey. Like to Fremont, it's probably about $40 from the airport, 30, $40 nowadays. I don't know if they have the shuttles. Yeah, I'd say like $30 plus tip. You know what I mean? In that range. I'm just saying, like, Fremont Street's not close to the airport. Like, the Strip is very close, but Fremont, it's not that bad. It's like 7 miles or something. I'd say $30. Now, you could, if you're cheap, you could do the shuttle shit. There'll be shuttles, but they don't leave right away. You know, whatever. But I was gonna just tell you guys. That I was going to say Paradise Boulevard's the way to go, but it's too far for that. All right, Spencer S. got a little trick. Good shit on Patreon. Let us know. Good shit, Spencer S. You going to the Argos? I see the Argos are playing tomorrow. Normally I'd be out to going, but I got a lot of shit to do. I'm not really into it. I'm not really into being in public and shit, but I'm impatient, man. I get off an airplane and I don't want to fucking wait for shuttles and buses and shit. I'll bite the bullet. I'm hardcore. Like the last 2 times I've been to Vegas, I went to the weed dispensary before I even checked in. So it's $25.30 via Uber. Okay. And for the record, in that Argo game tomorrow, guys, take the over. It's going to go over 50.5. It's going to be a higher scoring game. And the Argos are going to upset the Lions. They're going to win. It's the C&E X here this weekend. Well, for the next couple of weeks. It's like a big, it's like a fucking amusement park, state fair type shit. There's a lot of people there, though. So there'll be more people at the game than usual. It'll just be a better atmosphere. Yeah, that's it, Big Will. So, yeah, last 2 times, like, I went to the dispensary first before the hotel. So that's what I'll probably do. I'll just bite the bullet. I'll fucking spend the money to fucking go to the dispensary. The only thing is, I'm going to have more bags this time. Usually I only have like a carry-on, so I go to the dispensary. It's no problem. But I'm going to have a guitar and shit this time. I'll speak to Sonny and Taylor. I'll see where they're staying. That's the thing, man. There's a bunch of us on the same plane, so for us it'll be easier. Fuck, we can split a taxi right from the airport, all of us, and just sort of go our separate ways. Cam to the El Cortez. I think Taylor. Well, we won't say where Taylor's going because for the freaks. I don't even know where I'm going to be staying. I haven't decided yet. That's the one good thing about being a grown man. An unmarried grown man. People are like, where are you staying? I'm like, I don't know, fuck. You know, what are you going to decide? I'm like, I don't know. I'll decide what I decide. Part of me, yeah, I told that story earlier, Casey, fuck. I nearly got arrested. Part of me is like, I'll just go to Circus for $22. And the other part of me, it's so cheap on Wednesday and Thursday in Vegas. I was like, fuck, man. Instead of just cheaping out all the time, maybe I'll just stay in a nice place, fuck. Maybe I'll stay at SLS for 2 nights or something. I'll get your number, Kyle, to make sure you don't get lost, all right? Yeah, I'm aware of the resort fees, Javier. Like I said, it's fucking cheap. Like Las Vegas. We're going to end the show here in a minute. This is the last long show we're going to do because Monday and Tuesday we're moving and traveling and shit. So this is it. What's the date? August 22nd. Check out 24th. No, 1. Fuck. I don't know why I always say fucking 1 traveler. Fuck off. Oh, yeah, and I get 10% off with Expedia since I book with them so much. All right. Cosmopolitan. Normally $229, $183. Fuck that. The D. $29 a night. The D's a good place, too. I don't mind the D. I've stayed there a few times. The Palazzo, the Venetian. Fuck that. Fuck you, Adelson. Treasure Island's pretty nice, actually. $112, but I don't like the Strip. Westgate. You fucking insane. Fucking Westgate. 300. Are you kidding me? I've never seen it this expensive. $397 a night. Must be because it's the super weekend or something. What a fucking scumbag move. I wouldn't pay $39 to stay there. The Royal Resort. The Royal Resort's a real secret. Dave Malinsky took me for dinner there. I did a TV show with Malinsky there a few times. There's no casino at Royal Resort, but it's right across the street from the Mirage, and it's like old Vegas. It's like marble floor and a piano room, and it's like Frank Sinatra used to hang there and shit. It's called the Royal Resort. $53 a night. Plaza, $31 a night. Plaza's right on Fremont. It's not bad. Lucky Dragon. Lucky Dragon's an Asian casino that opened up fucking right next to the condo I lived at when I lived there. They were building it when I lived there. Now it's finished, but it's always empty. Fuck. Like, this is unbelievable. Like, Expedia has this here. They have Travelers Bed and Breakfast. Fuck. It makes it seem like it's not that bad. I know this hotel. Like, people get shot in a parking lot and shit. Fuck. It's next to the Motel 6. Arizona Charlie's. That place isn't bad, but it's in the middle of nowhere. Fuck. SLS, $43 a night. Wow, that's a great rate for a beautiful room. Fuck. Ooh, I'm leaning SLS. Thing is, SLS fucking will give me a hard time due to my lack of credit cards. That's what I like about, like, I lived at Palace Station. Like, I'm in their system. Fuck. I go to Palace Station. They're like, oh, hey, Mr. Morency, how you doing? We haven't been around a while. Stratosphere, $18. Stratosphere is not bad if you don't mind hair in your food. I should give you my Vegas review for each place. Fuck. Oasis and Gold Spike, $24. That's where our boy Shell Dog stays at often. They shoot porn at that place often. Like, cheap porn will be being done. You'll hear chicks getting banged and shit and cameras and shit. Bally's. Bally's is all right, but it's too straight for me. Flamingo. Budsy Siegel. Flamingo is the first fucking hotel I ever stayed at in Las Vegas in 1988. La Quinta. La Quinta actually have nice little rooms, but it's in the middle of nowhere. There's no casino. Hard Rock and Casino, only $63. Richard Bronson bought the Hard Rock. They're changing it to the Virgin Casino or whatever. South Point, $64 a night. South Point's all right. It's good, but it's in the middle of nowhere, and there's nothing around it. Main Street, downtown. I hear good things about Main Street. Sunset Station, that's in Henderson. Fuck. Golden Nugget, $63 a night. Golden Nugget's like the nicest place on Fremont. I got to tell you, Grinch, $43 a night for SLS. That's a good deal. That's like a 4-star, 5-star hotel. Like Javier says, they'll nail you for another fucking. That is true too. Their fucking resort fees are out of control in Vegas now. Fucking the Raiders. It's fucking bullshit. Fuck. Raiders get a free stadium, and no one in Las Vegas wants to pay for it. So they were like, all right, we'll just make the tourists pay for it. We'll do a hotel tax. It was like an extra $10 last time I was there. I was like, what the fuck? And she was like, oh, the Raiders. I was like, yeah, the Raiders. Do I get free tickets? Fuck. I'm paying for your stadium. Rio's too out of the way. Yeah, $40 a night. That's crazy. Resort fee should be fucking, resort fee used to be fucking $7 a night. I remember in the old days, it was like resort fee, $3.99, resort fee, $7.99. And I remember fucking Green Valley Ranch. They were the first ones. It was like fucking resort fee, $15. I was like, what the fuck? And they were like, yeah, but we'll give you free internet. I was like, all right. Now, like you said, man, Circus resort fee, I think it's $35 a night. Like their rooms, like $25, but then they hit you at the desk. They're like, yeah, but it's $25 for the room, but it's $36 for the resort fee. So you really owe us this. Yeah, Vegas, they charge you for parking now. Fuck there. Yeah. Like before, if you gambled at a casino, it'd be free parking. Not anymore. Not unless you're like a member or like a VIP, whatever. Fuck. Yes, per day, Spencer S. Not just once, per day. And it's solely basically the Raiders. It's like the Raiders, the hockey team, like any new thing they bring, they just pass the buck along. The hotels don't like it because they know like business is down a bit with tourism, with the hotels. Like people are doing Airbnb and shit now because people don't like the resort fee. It's too much. You pay a resort fee and then they hit you for $27 for parking. I sound like De Niro in Casino at the end. So. He goes, you know, you walk into a casino in the old days, they used to know your name. They know what you drink. He goes, now you check into a casino in Vegas. It's like checking into an airport. It's like going to Disneyland. I remember that so well. I watched the movie Casino 2 nights ago. And with that, we wrap it up. I got to get out of here. God bless. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support this week. And we'll leave you with the Raiders and the Rams under the number 38.5. And we'll leave you with the BC Lions, Toronto Argonauts over 50.5. I think the Argos upset them tomorrow. And if you're a real degenerate, Mick Ossie, who joins us on the radio now, we mix it up. We talked about this game tonight. I actually like this game. Actually, you know what? This game starts in at 2:35 Eastern. So it'll probably even be on TV. It's a big game too. Great Western Sydney and Sydney. It's like the rivalry game. There's only 2 weeks left in the regular season. Both teams should be in the playoffs, but Great Western Sydney's at home. Give me the power. Great Western Sydney power, -134, 2:35 in the morning tonight. Great Western Sydney power, -134 to win the game. Raiders, Rams, under 38.5 tomorrow afternoon. And also tomorrow, I think it's at 5 o'clock or so, the Argos and the BC Lions, over 50.5. I like that more, but I also think Toronto's going to upset them, but I like the over more. We'll see you guys. We'll see the patrons tomorrow, one last Saturday night in Toronto. And it's crazy. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Fuck, I'm out of Toronto, man. One last Saturday night in Toronto here tomorrow night on Patreon. We'll see you guys Monday night here. Monday, Tuesday, no show Wednesday, and then we see you in Vegas next week. Other than that, you're on your own. Later.